Welcome to Recovery Unfiltered. I'm Larry. I'm an alcoholic.
I am Rob. I am also an alcoholic. We are not professionals. There are no letters after our names. We know very little. However, you will hear the word God and a four-letter word in the same sentence. You will also be offended. So if you are easily offended, just pass us by. This podcast is not for you.
Our opinions are just that. If you don't agree with what we're saying, that's okay. We're going to love you anyways. We are not in any way affiliated with AA.
So sit back, grab a beverage of your choice, and get ready.
Let's go. Hello, Rob.
Hi, Larry.
Welcome back.
Thank you, sir.
We've had a little bit more of a hiatus in this last one. We took a couple extra days to record.
Yes, we did.
We got a very special guest in here today.
A couple of them. This is the time that you would really want cameras because my nephew he checks in with me Wednesdays like my sister does and kind of critiques what we do.
Has he seen you?
Not for a while, he hasn't. But like last week with Mary and Matt, beautiful couple, cameras. Now with this couple, not you and me so much, but the cameras right here.
Right. They don't need cameras on us whatsoever. That would absolutely ruin our show. So, yeah, we had a pretty good response with our episode that we got back together doing. Once again, the recordings or the podcast is still doing very well. Getting a lot of people on the outside asking more questions, getting more emails coming back in. Remember, if you got emails or if you got questions, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to hit that button on the podcast that says send a text and send an email to Rob. Oh, shit, there I go already.
That's
screwing
all right,
up.
buddy. Hey, just keep going.
Damn. Send an email to recoveryunfilteredrobnlarry@gmail.com. All right, what?
If you also have critiques for Larry.
Fuck the critiques.
Those, please.
Don't know no fucking critiques. I critique myself worse bad enough.
Oh, mercy.
Poor Katie. She doesn't even know what I look like anymore. I hide up here in this damn podcast studio.
No, it could be for a good thing.
She probably doesn't miss me whatsoever.
She'll be on the show.
Guest, you ready to come on in?
Yeah, why not?
Who the hell are you?
Brad Luke.
Closer to the mic if you can.
My name's Brad Luke. Been sober a little over 2.5 years now. Today's actually 900 days.
900 exactly?
Yes, sir.
You look at that clock every morning?
Not just today.
Oh, attaboy. Loosen up, Brad.
I'm trying.
Okay.
Are you nervous?
No, I'm not the best speaker.
You're a great speaker, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, I've never you don't normally have a problem speaking. Here, let me insult you. Your fucking hair looks retarded.
Looks great.
Does that help you loosen up?
No.
Oh, God damn it.
Insults don't hurt me.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about yourself. You grew up.
So I grew up born in Manteca, California.
Right.
My parents divorced when I was in 5th grade, I believe. So I was probably about 10 years old. We moved up to Valley Springs. Growing up, I went to a bunch of different schools, probably 7 different schools growing up. As my parents, I went back and forth with my parents. Grew up a lot around alcohol and drugs. That was just a normal way of life, you know. It was nothing different. Addiction was in my family.
Just with your parents, or was
just everywhere? You know, my parents, my friends, wherever we went. You know, we went to someone's house. Parents said it was time to go outside.
Right.
We knew what was going on.
Right.
We went outside and did our thing. It wasn't.
You didn't know any different.
No, it wasn't like, hey, we need to call the cops on our parents or doing something bad. You know, it was just life. You know,
Yeah.
Dad said go get them a beer. You went and got them a beer. You didn't open it for them, or if you did, you didn't take a drink because you knew what was gonna happen. So it was just, I wouldn't say comfortable. It was just life, you know, going to people's house, and there was weed and there was drugs, and that was just the normal for us. Growing up, I would say when I was about the end of 5th grade, I started smoking weed, you know, and I did that for a long time.
How'd it get introduced to you?
Well, let's go back a little bit. My brother's 5 years older than me, so when about the time I could walk and talk, you know, say about 1 year old, I automatically turned. So I was raised real fast. You know, I was always with my brother, always doing what he was doing.
Right.
You know, I matured real quick. I wouldn't say I was robbed of my childhood, but I wasn't I didn't do all the young things that a child did. I started going fast, you know. If I wanted to ride bikes with my brother and his friends, I had to do what they did. And if I wanted to be in the club, they'd say, you got to ride down that hill. I didn't question it. I just ride down the hill, you know.
Well, you don't give a shit if you die.
They were smoking weed out of a can one day fishing. I smoked weed out of a can one day. And then it kind of just, I smoked weed for a long time until, you know, my mid-20s. And there was a part of my life where do I want to make money or do I want to keep smoking weed? And that was a no-brainer for me.
Now why the choice? What do you mean make money?
Just job. My job. Okay. It was just time to. That's when drug tests had started getting in play, and I chose work over, you know, weed. I had big goals in life that I wanted to achieve, and that was just going to hold me back from doing that, you know. And then I, you know, being raised and seeing, you know, growing up in the trailer park, you know, my dad always had a great job, but we only had what we needed. We never had anything above that, you know. Everybody my dad worked with, you know, they had the fancy trucks, the nice house, you know, they had that life that I always wanted, but, you know, we didn't have that. So I knew that I didn't want to, you know, continue smoking weed or get into bigger things that was going to slow me down in life. But to this day, I still haven't done any powder accelerants. I haven't, you know, dabbled in any of that other stuff. So
want some?
I'm fortunate that, you know.
Brad's not getting our jokes yet. Brad, did you even hear him?
No.
He said, "You want some?"
No. I just grew up around it, and I knew I seen what it did to people's lives, and I didn't, you know, I thought, well, I only smoke weed. It's not that bad, but, you know, I wish I didn't smoke it as long as I did. And I never drank growing up, you know, even though I was around it. I went to parties with my brother, all that stuff, was around alcohol all the time. Never really liked it. I mean, I remember the first 2 times I got drunk before I was 18. And I think the first time that I really got drunk was off peppermint snobs.
Oof.
That's brutal. Hey, but your breath tasted good.
Oh, it went down great.
How'd it come up?
I don't think I puked that time, but I did learn what the spins were. And
had to put your foot on the ground
yeah,
and stop that room.
I was at someone's house laying on the bed trying to go to sleep, and the room was just spinning, and I was holding my foot on the ground to try to keep thinking that was going to keep me from moving. But
did you say, "I'll never fucking do this again"?
No. I think if I would have puked my guts out, maybe. And then I had another time trying to be all cool in front of some high school girls, and I was slamming Seagram 7. I took like 4 or 5 shots, you know. And I've never been a big guy, real skinny, so you know, those set in real quick. And then my dad was coming to pick me up that day, and I remember wrecking my bike and feeling like shit. And then my dad picked me up, and then I got home. Well, I tried to take a shower because, you know, that's going to wash it off. Mm-hmm. Just get, you know, sober you up real quick. And then we get home, and I'm in the living room just puking my guts out in the trash can. My dad knows. He wasn't stupid. And he's like, "Oh, I think we're going to take you to the hospital," you know, fucking with me, which I didn't know at the time. And I'm like, "Oh, no, I'm fine. But, you know, after that, I didn't like drinking. Every time I had a beer, I'd take like 2 or 3 drinks out of it, and then it would just go to waste, you know. But I was never one of those people, I need to have a beer in my hand to fit in or be a cool guy, you know. Just didn't like beer. I'd rather smoke weed and function. Because I was like when I smoked weed, I could do whatever. I could go to work. I could clean the house, go ride dirt bikes, whatever, go fishing. I was like
normal function.
Yeah, it was what I did. Alcohol I wasn't normal. I couldn't control it. Weed, I can control. But I actually didn't really start picking up drinking until I was 21. 21, I got into real hard construction, traveling. I was never home. I was always hotel living, just traveling to shitty ass towns. There wasn't like things to do after work, but
dive bars.
Go get a 12-pack and a bottle or whatever, go back to the room and hang out until it was time to get up. You know, we always got up early, 2, 3 in the morning, and we were back at it again. So that's when I really started picking up beer and enjoying it. And I really started enjoying a beer after work. And then I started, that's how I grew up. My dad, his reward when he got home was to have a beer. So it was like that, I don't know, your hard day's work, come home, have a beer. And then I started acquiring that taste, and every day I'd get home and I'd want to have a beer. And then for the longest time, I was fine.
Was it
for years?
Was it the taste or the habit that got to you?
I hated the taste, but then I started loving the taste. Right. When I first started drinking, I was drinking Budweiser, and I just started liking the taste. And
I don't know how the fuck you could ever like that.
I don't know. I think it was just because that's what my dad drank.
Right.
It was Budweiser, and fuck, I didn't know the difference. I wasn't out buying variety packs,
taking flights.
Yeah, that wasn't even a thing back then. Getting a flight.
And if alcohol didn't relax you, if no one ever got a buzz or anything off alcohol, no one would ever drink this shit.
Right.
Come on. We drink it because of the effect.
Right.
Eventually you acquire a taste.
Right.
We drink it for the effect.
But back then it wasn't, I don't really remember getting fucked up all the time. It was
just relaxed.
Yeah, it was just having a beer, and it wasn't, back then didn't have much stress other than, always on the road. But I love money. That's, I had goals in life. I want to make money, and that's what I was focused on. And if I had to live in a hotel 5 days a week or whatever it was, wherever I was at, that was my focus.
Scratch the earth.
It was hard to have a relationship doing that, being out of town all the time. I wanted to start a family, and living on the road is not a place to do it.
Your early 20s?
Yeah, real early 20s.
Where were you calling home at that time? The road?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I had a girlfriend. I was living in Modesto for a little bit. I kind of bounced all around. Then I lived up in Knights Ferry for a while, and I really loved it up there. It just started picking up a little bit more and more, just drinking, having a good time. Always, it's the weekend. Let's go to the bar. Let's hang out. Let's drink, and then slowly hard alcohol. That kind of slowly came into my life. I wasn't a real hard alcohol guy. But on the weekends, I would go have a Long Island iced tea. I don't know.
Top shelf, baby.
When I got to my peak, that wasn't on my thing to do, was a Long Island. I don't know.
Like when everybody goes to hard alcohol, for some reason, that's where they start. Even Mary, when Mary was here last week, that's what she said.
Well, that's all I ever drank. I never drank beer. I hated beer. By bother. I was a Jack Daniels guy. But when we'd go to the Nutcracker, when we go to restaurants, and I wanted a drink, why would I drink Jack Daniels? I'd always drink a Long Island, top shelf.
I was beer, 100%.
Don't get me wrong. I had a pint already in me before the restaurant.
See, I never pre-gamed before going to the bar. We used to go.
When did you start pre-gaming? Because eventually we do.
Well, we started playing poker like every day, and there was a bar
in the hotel.
No, this is back when I'm back home. We'd start playing poker every day. Every day we go play poker at 6 o'clock. The bar's right next door, so we got there early. We'd go have like a shot, beer, and get ready for the poker game. And that's how the hard alcohol started. Hanging out the bar, I think, is really how the hard alcohol. And then after the poker game, on a Friday night, we'd go back to the bar and close it down.
Was that in Knights Ferry?
No, this was in Oakdale.
Oh,
partying in Oakdale. There was the old poker room where we played Texas Hold'em, and then you didn't even have to go outside. There was a door to get to the bar. Right. And then started doing that bar scene, which is today I look back on as this retarded, was a waste of time.
Money.
And then at this time I'm still kind of smoking weed, so we'd go home, and I can't mix the two, but I didn't know how to turn that off.
What would happen if you did?
Oh, you get crossfaded, and then
what's that mean?
I've
never smoked weed.
Your eyes cross, and then you start letting it go. I just puke my guts out.
Oh, okay.
And I do it every time. I just start drinking, go home, we'd smoke a blunt, and then I'd puke my guts out. And then repeat it the next day. I don't know. I just could never do two at the same time. I could smoke before I drink, but I could not smoke after I drink. It just this doesn't work for me.
Huh. Something every day.
But then I get older, and then, I like telling you job thing. So I quit smoking weed. No big deal. I didn't want to, but I knew what I had. I noticed myself. I noticed myself now looking back that's when the alcohol started really kicking up and the hard booze. And I went through a couple crazy relationships and started. I don't don't know if you want to call them resentments, just started getting a lot of drama in my life. And, you know, I started drinking to get that away from me, the push it away. And I just always wanted to start a family, and shit wasn't going right. Women weren't going the way that I needed it to go. You know, probably a lot of that was on me, just treating them like shit and thinking I was the shit. But then I landed this really good job, and I started doing really good, and then I started really getting towards those goals that I wanted in life, you know. And life started looking good as far as income and getting things done. And then
is that when you were with your current job now?
Yes.
Yeah. So you had switched jobs. What year did you switch jobs and you stopped traveling every day?
I was 27, I want to say. Okay. Somewhere right in there. And then I moved to Knights Ferry again. The second time up in Knights Ferry, I'm hanging out there, living up there, just go to work, go to the bar, go to work, go to the bar there in Knights Ferry, and just hang out. And that's what I did. And one night I'm up there hanging out. I'd go up there and eat dinner, and I'm hanging out. And this couple walks in. They weren't a couple, they were together. They came in together, and they weren't holding hands, and hanging out there and having a good time. And I was talking to this guy, and he found out that I knew some people around town where we go ride quads and dirt bikes and stuff, and he wanted to hook up and go ride. And I said, yeah, that's cool. And I gave this guy my number. And then a couple months go by. I get a text on my phone. Wasn't too sure about it.
Picked up a dude in a bar.
At this point, I'm going back and forth with an ex-girlfriend of mine. I thought she was playing some crazy games on me, texting me from a different number, trying to trap me or something. I don't know. But I text this number back. I'm like, hey, who is this? Sends a picture, kind of rings a bell.
Was it a nude?
No.
Damn it.
And then I call because I don't trust the text because I still think it's a trap or something. So I call and I say, who is this? She's like, oh, this is Grace. You know, I met you a few months ago. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh, I don't remember giving you my number. And then she went around the lines, you know, I have 4 kids or something. I'm like, oh yeah, no.
God damn it, Brad, get your story straight.
Hold on.
No,
lay it down, Grace.
He said, I don't remember you. So he said, if you say who you say you are and where you met me, meet me in 15 minutes. And I had no makeup on. I had nothing. Like, I was home by myself cleaning.
Like you need it.
Huh?
Like you need makeup. Come on.
And so I was like, okay, well, all right. So I just put a dress on and I went to the restaurant where I met him. And
well, you really don't trust anybody, do you?
No, he doesn't trust. And I walk in and he gets the biggest smile on his face. And he says, I remember you. You're the girl that works at the elementary school with a shit ton of kids.
I was trying to clean it up a little bit.
No, right? But that's why you love Brad. I mean, the one thing about Brad, you always know where you stand, and he says it like I believe it needs to be said.
I said it in that phone interview. Just when you think you're feeling good about yourself, just call Brad.
And ask him for your opinion. You'll get it.
But the best part was later that night.
You're good.
Later that night, we were just talking and, of course, drinking. And he said, hey, I know you have 4 kids. And he's like, that doesn't bother me. And so many guys, right? I'm single at this time. And so that was like the pickup line. Oh, I don't care if you have 4 kids. Like, I want to be with you. But he went a step further and he said, I don't care if you have 4 kids, but will you have one more? And I'm like, this guy's crazy.
Look at you, Brad.
I always wanted to have my own.
Right.
And so, that was it.
Instant love.
That's a hell of a pickup line.
Even after I already did relationships with kids and raised kids, and I said I never wanted to do it again, and then this lovely woman walked in my life.
What was the age from when you went through that thought process till you met Grace, though?
I was in that thought process when I met Grace, that I wasn't going to date another woman with kids. I was just going to start a life with a woman that didn't have kids, and we were going to figure it out together.
Right.
Until I met her.
That
first night we met, when she was there with that guy, I could tell she was interested in me, and she kept talking about her kids, and I'm like, no, these are red flags for me right now. Like, I'm not trying to go down this rabbit hole again. Like, you know, I raised a couple kids, you know, and I had to part ways with that, and it really affects you, you know,
when you kids too.
When you wipe a kid's ass for him, and then you go another direction, it sucks, you know. You develop like a father-son kind of deal, you know. If you wipe anybody's ass, you're gonna develop that,
for sure,
you know,
for sure. All right.
So yeah, we started, you know, and then that was the thing, you know. We hung out the bars, we drank, we had a good time. But after when she showed up that day and she walked through the door, I smiled, and I don't know, something.
You were done.
Yeah, I was done for. You know?
I know that feeling. I know that feeling well.
And we never parted ways since, you know.
Right.
We hung out that night. I think we hung out the next night, you know. We never parted ways after that.
But we have to say the best part of all of this.
Which is?
That the second time I met him, when he said be there in 15 minutes, his face was all fucked up.
What happened?
And I asked him.
Hey, Brad, this is unfiltered, baby. You got to give it to us. Grace, what happened?
I asked him what happened, and he said, "Oh, I got in a fight here." So anyway, I get to the bar, and his face is all fucked up, and he says, "Oh, I got in this fight with this guy here." And let's rewind back when I had met him the first time. He had told me he had a crazy ex-fiance, like they had just broken up and stuff. And in my mind, I was thinking it was way over. So we meet up that night. We have a great time. Meet up the second day. You know, his face is all bruised. And then on the third date, he's like, I need to tell you something. I actually really care about you. And I think this might go somewhere. And so he takes me up to Sonora, and we have dinner, and he's like, I need to tell you that that my face is like this because of my ex-fiance. And I was like, what? And
Alcohol's great.
I know, but come on. Hey.
That's a story right there.
I know.
We got to have that.
And so he went on to tell me that she was giving some other guy his number, and they got into it at the bar. The guy fucked him up pretty good, and I think you got him.
What happened was, it was me, my ex, and this guy that lived up there too.
In Knights Ferry.
Yeah, we knew each other. We weren't friends. We knew each other. And then the owner of the bar, which I was really good friends with. And I went outside and smoked a cigarette, and I came back, and the owner of the bar, he's flipping out. And I'm like, hey, what the fuck's going on? You know, and I don't like to fight. I like to calm shit down. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Everybody needs to calm down. We're having a good time. And my buddy at the bar is like, this guy's trying to get her fucking number, and she just gave it to him. And I'm like, oh, yeah, you're right. Fuck this motherfucker. So I'm kind of chewing on her and him, and me and her are kind of separated at the time. We're trying to figure it out, you know. So we're at the bar figuring it out, because that's really going to
That's where you do it.
help the situation.
About 10 deep, too.
So I kind of lose my shit, and guy he's talking shit. I'm like, do you want to go outside? He's like, or I think he called each other outside. I'm like, yeah, let's fucking go outside. And so me and him were outside talking, and I said something in the lines of, would you want that for your daughter or something like that? And then he cracked me a good one right in the nose. And then it was on. You know, we were fucking fighting. I got him to the ground. We had the door blocked. They couldn't get out. So the guys ran around. We're going at it pretty good. A couple other people show up, and then they pull him off or whatever, blah, blah. We go at it again. This time I fucking wrap him up pretty good. They get him out of there. I go home, like go in the bar or whatever, finish beer. She disappeared. I don't know where the hell she went. I don't know if I was on my quad at that time or the truck, whatever. I go home. I open the door, and there she stands, close-fisted, right in the nose again. Bam! This splits my nose right open. Still can't breathe right to this day. I don't know if it was him or her, but yeah, it was a crazy crazy night. I didn't even clean the blood off. I turned around, went right back to the bar and started drinking.
Hey, that's why nobody messed with you in the bar.
there was no one to mess with me that night. Just stuff I regret, Even though she was crazy, I was still a piece of shit and drinking and treating her like shit. And I'm not saying it's all my fault, but I'll take my part, Oh. But
then you went on a date with Grace the next night?
no,
it was like a week later. I think it would have.
But
been
he still had the
later.
battle. He still had the battle scars.
He still had the battle scars, but when we went, what made it so funny is he acted as though when we first had that dinner that he hadn't seen her in months, and so on that third date he had to tell me like, "Hey,
damn it, Brad."
I know."
I started falling for this girl, so I was open about everything. I told her about all my
when you
exes.
say this girl, you
live
mean
in
Grace.
Texas.
Yes, my wife. I told her everything because I knew we were going to run into people. It's freaking small around here.
Yeah.
You're going to always run into people. And
right.
I don't want to be like, oh, well, as we go along in life, explain it. I would just tell her things, and that way it wasn't a surprise.
So when you get in the grocery store and he gets that look, Grace, that's story number 4 over there walking down the
we
the
get it all
aisle.
the time.
No, I think he had like it was so bad that his landlords were going to put a sign that said "Walk of Shame" because she said every night there was, not every night, but there was a lot of different girls that were coming, and she said when I came, she almost put the sign out there, and she said, "I'm so glad I didn't because you might not have come back."
Oh wow, the landlord said that.
You got to know the landlord.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was the landlord's son. They lived next door, so the talent had to park in front of their house and come over.
Yeah.
Damn it, Brad.
So I was one of many.
Get it out when you're young. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Get it out when you're young.
Yeah.
But by the grace of God, this woman comes in my life, and
Good choice of words, by the way.
No kidding.
she, she's God fearing and all that stuff. I wasn't raised in religion, but I was at this point in my life where I was kind of taking it on myself to go to church and kind of learn a little bit what I could. And I don't know if I was going to church to learn or I was going like, God help me. I just
Probably a little both.
I didn't have no one to help me. I had my brother growing up, which is my best friend to this day. But when it comes to that stuff, we were kind of on different pages. But so she came to my life. Things were great. Life was happening fast, like really fast. I mean, I respect her. She didn't take me around the kids for, I don't know, a few months, huh? It was just
Till
me
I
and
was
her.
pregnant.
Yeah. I didn't, she wouldn't introduce me to the kids until she knew for a fact, what was going to happen.
But repeat that, Grace.
Until I was pregnant. We got pregnant shortly after, I want to say 2 months after we started dating, 3 months.
She's got 4 kids, Rob. She's fertile.
Oh yeah. Just as you were telling the story, she came in and she was, you said she didn't bring you around the kids until, and then Grace pops in till I got pregnant. Well,
yeah, because I think at that point I didn't want to bring my kids around him. I was thinking like 6 months, maybe a year, and I got pregnant so quickly that I thought, okay, we're gonna have to accelerate this because
you're pregnant.
I'm pregnant, and so now I'm gonna have a new baby, and I already have 4 children. So just trying to, bring everyone together and be a family as best we could.
But then I started kind of showing her who I was as far as partying, getting on the Harley. We'd go party on the Harley. We'd go to Vince or we'd go to Reno, 3 Vibrations and party and just get drunk all weekend long. I mean, drink till we woke.
Not when I was pregnant.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Can I ask one question, Grace? At this point, when you guys met, you're a single mother, raising kids. You weren't in the party lifestyle.
Oh no! The funny thing is I didn't even start. I mean, and I know this isn't about my story, but I grew up very religious. Didn't even start drinking until I was 20s, and when I'm saying drinking, I mean like having a cocktail on the weekends. And when I met Brad, I started drinking more just to keep up with him. He was a big drinker, so on the days I was with him, I would drink.
Okay, that's kind of what I thought. I mean, that's I don't want, because I've been critiqued. Don't tell people stories, but when you know something, you kind of want to bring. You got to find a different way to bring it out. So
Yeah.
Okay, Brad.
But at this point, I'm still kind of managing it. You know, I'm still having fun. I'm not using it that right now at this point to drown out a lot of things. Right now, I'm having fun. You know, what was I, 28 when we met? 29.
Yeah.
We were just having fun, drinking, but it was getting out of hand, and it was getting out of real fast. You know, I remember taking her to a biker event in Reno. We had a great time, which I thought we were having a fucking fantastic time. And then I think it was the day before we were leaving, she starts crying, and she's kind of being mean to me, and she's upset. And I think that's when she realized something in her tummy wasn't going right. And it wasn't that she needed to take a shit. It was something was going on. And when you have 4 kids, I think you know that feeling pretty good.
Yeah,
and
she had an instinct.
So she was pregnant. That's when she found out she was pregnant.
I think she was having and then she's like, I'm pregnant with this asshole.
With your kid.
Yeah, and I think she was kind of having some regrets at the moment, you know. And
yeah, so I think I saw a side of him in Street Vibes that I thought, okay, this isn't going to be for me. But then I knew I was pregnant, and so I remember on Monday waking up and saying, okay, I'm going to go get a pregnancy test, and I went and took it in the Starbucks bathroom on my way to work. And I just started crying, and I thought, okay, God, your plan is bigger than mine.
But now, why did you cry? I think we know why, but explain. Why did you cry?
Well, for me, it was multiple things, but I would say a big part was shame. Having grown up in the church and knowing that having sex outside of marriage was a sin. Not only was I doing that, but I was doing it with a man that was as opposite from God as he could possibly be. And so I just had a guilt, shame, and just thinking, oh my God, I'm going to spend the rest of my life with this man. And I don't even know if he's up for the challenge, you know? And I didn't tell you, and was it till the next day? I think I told you on Tuesday that I was pregnant. I didn't even tell him. I had to process it. And then I told him I was pregnant, and I remember him just crying with so much joy. And I thought, okay, all right.
Was that, what did you expect? Or did you have a reaction you were expecting, or just, I'm gonna let him have it and see what I get?
I don't know. I don't know.
But you weren't expecting that.
Oh no.
I can tell by your face you weren't expecting that.
No, he was over the moon. Like, I remember him just being so happy. And I was thinking, oh my God, I'm a single mom. At that point I was living paycheck to pay. I was so broke. And I'm thinking, and he's okay with having a baby with me. At this point, I'm living in a 2-bedroom house. I have 2 kids in one room, 2 kids in the other, and I'm sleeping on the couch. I don't even have my own room. And my kids haven't met him. And it's just this whole process that I'm going through. And I truly believe that God took me to the place of, and I'm not trying to say God was in me sinning. I'm not saying that, but God used this to really bring me back to him. And he's like, I got you. Like, I'm going to carry you through this. And I don't want to jump too far ahead, but I can tell you that our story is truly a story of redemption, and truly a story of redemption from my own life, from meeting him and having our son.
So Tuesday, you find out and you're doing backflips.
Oh yeah, I was excited, scared and excited at the same time. But I knew she knew what she was doing, so I knew I was in good hands.
Nice,
you know?
Nice.
You know, and I've taken care of younger children before, so I kind of knew what I was doing. But she had 4 kids already, and I'm like, I ain't gonna have to do shit.
So you thought?
No, I know. I was really hands-on dad. Like, I was that was my boy when he came out. You know, I remember the day she told me he was a boy. I cried my eyes out. Excited. So yeah, life started moving quick. Rented a house. We brought the family together. And then not shortly after that, my dad got diagnosed with kidney failure. So he started going downhill. Not really fast in the beginning. It wasn't. I don't know how to say this. So in the beginning, it wasn't a huge deal. It's like, everything's going to be all right. But you don't really know until you know.
Well, he was able to even have a machine at home. Like it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was, he could take care of himself.
So Dad, he's got kidney failure. So we're kind of dealing with that process and that. One day me and Grace were just like, hey, let's go get married. And this is after we were renting a house. The house, Jonathan was just born.
I think he was like 6 weeks old when we got engaged.
I was like, hey, let's just go to Tahoe and get married. She's like, yeah, let's do it. And I'm like, all right, we'll have a party at the house the night before. We'll ride the Harley up there and we'll tell people. And if they make it, they make it. If they don't, they don't. Because this day is just about me and you anyways. We didn't want a huge wedding. We just wanted to go get married. So we did all that. We had a huge party. Shout out to Fireball. It makes a great night real great. Especially when you got the shot ski.
Right.
And the dudes start having their shirts off and shit. Like, no, we don't want dudes with their shirts off.
No.
Grace
Well,
did.
mine came off, so it worked.
True story.
Wait, hold on. Grace, your shirt came off?
Off.
And
yeah.
you were pregnant?
No.
They had the baby already.
We already
you
had the
had
baby.
the baby.
Yeah.
Oh,
we
atta
had the
girl.
baby.
We know what his
Nice
search
job.
history looks like.
Nice.
He's got a fetish.
So we run up there. We have the party. We run up and get married. Hungover as shit. I think I almost had to strap her to the back of the bike to get her up there.
I was so hungover. It was terrible.
Some of our family came. It was a Chapel of Bells. What a great place. Smells like a mortuary inside.
Well, they probably had a funeral right after you left.
Before they got there.
We walked through the door and we smelt that. We're like, oh man, are we at a funeral home?
The
They're
great
like,
smell
for
of
like
formaldehyde.
another $150 you could get married outside. I'm like, yeah, we'll get married outside. It's a lot better. It was so awesome. We picked out a song on YouTube and played that.
Which was?
It all started with the beer.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Because that's how it happened.
It
Right.
did. That's how our relationship started.
Started drinking, started rapping, and
Oh, I
that's how it happened.
can't wait till we get to 2 shots. Never mind.
Yeah. Will you shut up a little? You are a premature ejaculator.
I didn't know about this part, how it
Good
ties
grief.
together. That's freaking awesome.
Well, that's how we did. We drank.
Right.
We had a great time.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't, back in the beginning, I don't remember us really drinking and fighting. That wasn't. Do you remember any of that?
We just fought when I was the sober one because I was pregnant and you
Right.
were drinking. There was a lot of fighting then, but once I was able to get on your level, we were good again.
Is that when I made you drive me through the DUI checkpoint?
Okay, story time.
I never been through one, and I was drunk.
I was 9
and I had
months
a-
pregnant.
I had a designated driver for a while, and I'd seen on the internet that there was a DUI checkpoint in town. I'm like, I want to go through this thing. Let's go down
You
there.
purposely went looking for the DUI checkpoint.
Well, I knew where it was,
You were fucking.
and I wanted to go through and fuck with them.
How'd that go? What'd you do?
Kept my mouth shut.
No, you didn't.
What'd I do?
Okay, Grace, what happened?
So we're going through it, and he has this like huge knife.
Oh,
that's
on your old shit handle in your truck?
Right.
I got a big old Rambo knife.
that's
zip
zip
tied.
tied to it. And so the guy's, asking if I drank or whatever, the typical questions. And
But you're
then
9 months pregnant, right?
I am.
So you show him the belly? Come on, dude.
Well, I mean,
Did you have a belly?
I had a massive belly. But then he was asking about the knife, and Brad's so fucked up. Then he starts talking shit about. He's like, "It's not concealed. It's fine." And so we go home, and then he's like, "Come on, I want to do it again. I want to do it again." I'm like, "No."
Fucking Brad.
Out of all the years I've drank, that's the only one I've ever been through. Well, I remember when I got sober the first time I got pulled over by a U.S. Forest Ranger riding my Razor. Had a helmet on. Wasn't legal, but I had a helmet on, and he pulled me over. And I had a 9mm loaded in my glove compartment or under my armrest. And I was just pissed, but I was happy at the same time. I mean, I think it was only like 11 o'clock in the morning, but by that time camping, I would have been
Shit faced.
right.
I would have been definitely
Oh,
DUI
yeah.
level. And,
Easily.
And the only thing that kept my mouth shut from not running it because I wasn't drunk, so I was excited about that.
Right.
But I had that 9mm there, and I didn't want to go down that rabbit hole,
Right.
so I just took the ticket and went on
That
my
would've been
way.
worse
But I
than
got
the
back to
DUI.
camp, and I told my wife, I'm like, that would have been it right there. I would have had a DUI. I would have lost my job. I would have lost everything. You know, I would have had to start all over again, and fuck, it felt good.
That 9mm would have been worse than the DUI, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. So let's get back to your dad.
So Dad. So
You got married.
we got married.
Yeah.
Life's still this.
Is Dad living with you now?
No,
Not yet.
life's
No.
going fast. I mean, we could barely keep up with how fast the stuff, the bills, the stuff that we're accumulating. You
Right.
know, we're getting her a new car. We're just
Oh yeah, it happens
life
quickly.
is just going fast.
But we're able to save money. We were able
Yeah.
to save a decent amount of money, like still living life, a good life, but saving.
And then Dad comes to us and he wants. I think he knows more than what he's telling us.
Yeah.
And he wants to buy a house. He wants to move in with each other. So we process it, and
Because at this point, we're already looking on our own. We're
yeah,
already
we
talking.
wanted to get a house.
We had enough saved where we could buy a smaller house.
This was back when $1,400 a month was like, fuck, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So we're like, all right, yeah, well, we're looking at houses. We'll get a house big enough for you to pretty much come finish your life out with us, you know.
So you had pretty much made up. You knew that was getting ready to happen.
We didn't have a timeline on it, but yeah, it was something that,
Pretty evident.
yeah. And because Dad was living in Lodi at the time with his brother, he had rented a small place out there, and I think it was he was doing his thing out there, but I think he wanted to come enjoy his final days with his grandson, you
Right.
know, his other, you know, new
Well, he
grandkids.
loved all the
Yeah, he
kids.
loved them all.
Right.
As though they were his own.
But he just wanted to come. I believe he wanted to finish his days out with us. And we'll go back a little bit. When I want to say it was 7th grade, my sister was killed in a car accident.
Older or younger sister, Brad?
She was older than me by 2 years.
Okay.
Another rabbit hole. That was someone that I didn't get introduced to until I was about 6th grade. There was some back and forth if it was his child, wasn't his child, one of those DNA kind of deal. But I'm kind of blessed for that I wasn't raised knowing her my whole life. I mean, it did affect me when I found out that she did pass because I was starting to develop a relationship with her, but it wasn't like we grew up our whole lives
Right.
with each other.
More like a cousin.
Yeah, it was just more like a friend that was
Right.
a girl, but you knew she was your sister.
Right. And how old were you?
I was, I would say 13,
Okay.
14 when I got the news that she was hit in Stockton by hit and run drunk driver. That was another thing why I was really against alcohol, you know, because I was starting to develop a relationship with her, and you know, a drunk driver took her away from me.
Right.
So I was an only child, you know, except for my brother. My dad raised my brother, but I was his blood, and I'm still drinking, still being crazy. I'm out riding Harley, doing thing. Grace is out looking at houses. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Go look at them and then report to the boss.
Report to the king.
So she's out looking at houses, and I'm out just being stupid, drinking, riding with the guys, and she finally finds a house. I go look at the fucking house. I don't like the house. I nitpick the shit out of it. It's a perfect house. I'm nitpicking like the parking or the fact that they had guinea pigs in the front room and they were pissing on the wall. But this stupid shit. So we buy a house. We get the house. Dad, he's stoked. He's through the moon. I mean, these people aren't even getting their last load out of the house. Dad's in the front yard fucking, they're not even gone yet. I got to get my shit in there.
And he ends up putting the down payment on the house.
Yeah, he helps put the down payment on the house. And we start living.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there was a point where things, I want to say didn't get better, but we were kind of just rolling with it. Life was happening. We were drinking. It was a lot, but it wasn't super out of hand yet. I think it was good for about a year. And then me and my dad really started getting into it. You know,
About
dialysis. He was supposed to go 3 days a week. and he's not going. You know, I come home and he's home, and it's just fucking pissing me off. And you know, me and him start really getting after it, and when we were getting in arguing matches, fighting matches, because I love the man. I want the man to live. I'm not ready for him to throw the
Was
towel.
he driving himself to dialysis?
Yeah, he was still fine, you know.
But I think another big point, though, was the drugs.
Yeah.
I think that was... I don't think you knew how much he was into the drugs.
I knew. I just didn't want to face it.
It's still, at least I feel like it was kept from me. It wasn't until he came in, and that first year was really when I didn't even know what it was, and he would just crash and sleep for 3 days.
Wow.
And that's where you two were getting in the fights, because
I knew what it was. I just didn't.
Right.
That shit I've always tried to just put in a dark,
out of sight, out of mind kind of deal.
Yeah, it was just normal to me. I was raised around it my whole life. Fucking up all night, sleep for a few days. That's fucking. I didn't do it, but it was normal to me. You know, it was what I knew.
What we thought was normal as kids was fucked up shit.
Yeah.
I have some stuff that I thought was normal, and the older we got with our own kids.
But there's one thing I don't regret any of it.
Oh no,
I wouldn't.
I.
I'd go back right now. Grace looks at me funny when I say this stuff, but I would go right now back to day one and live every moment of it
100%.
all over again.
Without a doubt.
Even the bad parts, I would
agree with
do
you, Grace.
again.
I'd change shit.
I had a blast as a kid.
Oh, I did too. I had a blast.
I did not have a good childhood.
Right.
Well, that's why you look at me that way, because you wouldn't want to.
No, my childhood was terrible.
Yeah. Well, I know some of hers too, though. So I get you.
Yeah,
I get you.
So we're fighting all the time. You know, I get home and it's just crushing me because I'm like, you know, if he don't go to dialysis, he ain't gonna live.
Right.
When you're at 3 days a week, that's bad.
Yeah.
That's not good. You know, and I already went through this. I used to help this gentleman. People might know him. Real famous guy. His name's Alex Nacarado. He was in dialysis, and I used to help him out all the time. And you know, and I watched him go, and I didn't really know about dialysis until I met him. And me and that guy would go have a highball every day after dialysis. Like, he wasn't going to stop. I mean, he didn't take it to the top, but, you know, he was going to have his one drink a day. And he knew his time was coming, but he was going to live life. But when he went, that happened on a New Year's, you know, that really hurt me, got to me. And then my dad's going through the same thing, and I'm like, fuck, I'm going to do this all over again. So we're fighting all the time. I mean, we're not going at blows, but we're raising each other's voices, and I learned how to raise my voice from my dad. So I was pretty good at us raising our voices at each other, and it just became a battle. And then pretty soon I'm getting calls at work. Oh, your dad, he hasn't made it down here, because I gave him my phone number to call me. And then, like, on my lunch break, this one I'm working down the street like 10 minutes from my house. On my lunch break, I'd tell my boss, hey, I got to run home real quick. I'd go home, wake his ass up. What the fuck? Why aren't you going? Blah, blah, blah. You don't want to be here for the kids. Blah, blah, blah. It was an ongoing battle. Then he would...
Is that when you're in the house you're in now, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then, you know, he'd get his stuff, and then things would be good. Then he would go for, I don't know, a few weeks, month straight. And it's like, life's great, you know? And then he'd come down, and then it would...
Because he was still battling his drug addiction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to us, it's an addiction. To him, it was just life. That was life.
Yeah. It's how he functioned. Yeah.
I don't know. Back in the day when guys worked 6 months straight, 12-hour days, if they weren't on something, you're crazy.
Right.
They were all on something.
They know my story.
Yeah.
So it just, like I said, for months, you know, for a month it'd go good, and then me and my wife start butting heads, because when he goes south, you know, it's just chaos in the house, and she's never been around it, so it's normal to me. I kind of shut those when he's having his bad days. You know, I kind of shut that out. You know,
that's how you grew up.
Yeah. Yeah. She didn't know what the
She's
hell.
Shell shocked.
She didn't know what any of that stuff was until she came into my life. Like nothing. Like I popped her cherry on so many things.
I learned who Tupac was.
Yeah, but she had 4 kids.
You always go to that one.
I know because I didn't know who Tupac was.
How old were you? Good grief.
I was 30 when I found out he played Tupac for me, and I was like, oh, okay.
Where did you grow up?
Sheltered.
No shit.
She was very.
Very sheltered.
Wow.
Not in a good way. Not protected in a good way.
No.
Okay.
So now, how bad is Dad, and when does he get?
So, Dad's he's going quick, and I could tell he's not wanting to go, and he's
Not wanting to go to dialysis.
Yeah, and I've been down there with a couple times, took him down there. I mean, it got to the point now he's in a walker, like he's got to use a walker. So, and this has been a man that's been, when we first moved in the house, he's helping us because the backyard was shit. It was bark and just a little bit of concrete landscape. I mean, you come home and he's out there he's drawing plans up. I mean, he's getting after it. And he was good at that shit. He was a foreman his whole life. He was good at lining stuff up and getting shit done. And
how old was he?
When my dad passed, he was 60. So at this point, he's like
58,
57.
Okay.
But it's just,
he was still young then.
Oh, super young. I wasn't.
I'm only 4 years away from that.
I wasn't.
My dad was 60.
Yeah.
So we're just fighting, and then me and Grace really started taking the toll. The downhill stuff for him was really taking a toll on her. She didn't know how to handle it. I tried to explain it to her the best I could, and it's hard for me to explain it when it's just normal to me. We really started fighting. I mean, it wasn't like Dad needed to get out of the house, but it was like, how the fuck are we going to do that? How are we going to figure this out? Me and you are fighting. Me and my dad are fighting. And what did we do? We grabbed the bottle.
Mm-hmm. Well, by 2019, you were pretty much like all you and your dad did was fight. And then I became his caretaker because...
Were you trying to referee these two, though?
Oh, constantly. I was
really?
the referee of... And I was the referee of 2 addictions.
And you were working.
Yes.
So you were working and coming home and refereeing.
Yeah.
Good
5 kids, too, going on.
Yeah. My husband is, by this time, full-blown alcoholic, 2019. And my father-in-law, who he was my dad, is addicted to dope. And I'm
dying.
And every day was just a constant battle of, how am I going to get through one more day of this?
So yeah, I think that's when the drinking really started picking up. That's when we started just drowning shit out.
And even you, Grace, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We were at our high. I mean, I think we were killing a handle every other day.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Well done.
Shout out to Fireball again.
Don't tell me you're drinking candles of Fireball.
The sponsor of this show.
Why wouldn't you want to wake up with a fucking headache from sugar? It's the best.
I don't know.
Hold on, we graduate from Fireball.
You grow up.
Tell the story, Brad.
You grow
Larry,
up.
shut up.
And was this something? Because Fireball reminded me of being a kid. The little Fireball candies you can't buy anymore. Dad used to have them all the time. You'd suck on them and see how long you keep them in your mouth. And I don't know. We started drinking Fireball, and then, but we'd get home, and I'd already be 2 shots of the beer deep before she got home because I didn't want her to know where I was getting at. You know, she knew I was drinking a lot, but I'd get home. This is at the point in work where I'm like, and I'm a workaholic. Like, I love to work, but I love money more than. But dude, that's why you're workaholic, because you love money.
Oh yeah.
But I was at the point where I was like, I'm ready to go home. Like, I didn't want to work late anymore. I wanted to get off and go home.
Right.
What were you thinking? What was on your
The
mind?
alcohol was at home.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't drink at work. I didn't wake up and drink, and I didn't drink up at work.
Well, you were an operator.
I had to get home so I could start drinking. And I would never drink in my company truck. I just knew I needed my job.
Right.
So I'd go home. First thing this is first walk on the door. Grab the bottle, pour a shot. Whatever. Yeah. Pour a couple shots, drink a couple shots, wash it down with the beer, hoping the beer was going to cover up the hard alcohol. She'd come home. How was your day? Oh, it was a great day. Let's celebrate. Yeah, let's celebrate.
I have no idea.
I mean, at this point, though, I got a pretty good tolerance.
Right.
So, I'm going to go upstairs and change. All right, great. I'll pour some shots. When she's up there, I'm either pouring another 1 or 2 for myself real quick, and then I have 2 laying on the table by the time she comes down from changing into comfortable clothes. And that's how it went for a long time, where I was just always just coming home and shots, and then dealing with Dad, and then once in a while he would drink with us, and then we.
So he wasn't a heavy drinker then.
No, growing up, he was just beer. He drank, but
Right.
he wasn't heavy. I mean, he drank a lot of beer, but
He had help.
he wasn't.
Yeah.
He wasn't like me, where he's walking around the house just fucking drunk, being an asshole.
Right.
I mean, my dad could be an asshole. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't because he was walking around drunk.
Well, fuck, I'm an asshole sober.
Amen, brother. Truer words have never fucking been spoken. Hey, go ahead, Brad.
So, you know, it just started going downhill. As he started going downhill more, our drinking started really progressing. I mean, I remember Grace had a friend that had a wedding, and they had like 10 bottles of tequila left over and 10 bottles of
Vodka.
Vodka.
Was it vodka?
I don't think it was vodka. Whatever. It's like
can't
20
remember.
bottles.
Fireball.
No, it wasn't Fireball.
It's a fireball.
And then at this point, I became a really tequila drinker. We graduated from Fireball.
This was the
Thank
end of
God.
2019.
Tequila.
We were tired of the headaches. We were tired of headaches. We were buying Don Julio, and the shit's expensive.
That's expensive.
When you drink a lot, the shit's expensive.
You went from shit to top shelf.
Yeah, we went from $20 a handle
Go the
to
other way, Brad.
we went
Go
to
the other way.
$20 a handle to $50 for 750 milliliters.
Jesus.
Well, we can kill that one quick. But I was saying, her friend got married, and they had a shit ton of alcohol. They're like, "Oh, we want $10 a bottle or something." I told her, "Buy it all."
No shit.
So we had alcohol for days. I mean, we had.
How many days? You had 20 bottles, roughly. You have 10 bottles of tequila.
It didn't last long.
No,
We were having.
That's gonna get
we
that.
were having parties too all the time.
Yeah.
You know,
every
Bring your own
weekend.
parties or you supply parties?
we supplied the parties.
No, did you supply the booze?
Yeah, oh yeah. We always had booze. So we went through that really quick with the parties, and I mean, we were always. It seemed like every weekend we were having parties, just getting shit faced, and that was the norm. Staying up. We never stayed up late though, because we were so drunk. We always passed out.
No,
but-
you always stayed up late.
Did I?
Yeah. And then you would tell people, I don't care. I'm not going to tell you need to go to bed, but you need to get the fuck out of my house.
That sounds like a
No,
Larry
I'd
move
say-
right there.
That's Brad right there.
You don't
know
gotta
why
go
you
home, but you gotta get the fuck out of my
here.
house.
Right. That was me.
Or,
I was Irish
or that
goodbye.
you turn around and Brad's gone, because
Oh.
I knew how to put myself to bed.
Irish goodbye, baby.
I mean, there was
I was
times
good at it.
There was times where I suppressed, where I stayed up a little too long. And Grace is like, "You need to go to bed." And then
Larry's high stepping again.
There was times people would just be, "Where'd Brad go?" I'd be in bed, out.
Oh, well. Me too, brother. Me too. Yep.
So, I mean, at this point, it's craziness. We're fighting all the time. You know, we're at the point where it's like we love each other, but we don't like each other.
Yeah.
And the only way we're tolerating each other right now is the alcohol. And I know she's not wanting to do it, but it's the only thing keeping us
Together.
Yeah.
Well,
pretty
at this
much.
point in my mind, I've already made up my mind that I was going to leave him as I was going to be there to take care of him until Dad had passed, and then I was going to move.
done.
I was done.
Were you
yeah.
guys still sleeping in the same room?
Oh yeah.
Were you?
Yeah.
Okay. So it hadn't gotten that bad.
Yeah, well, obviously
I don't
she's getting
play
ready to
that
leave
game.
him. It's
No.
Well,
bad.
I know, but I mean, Brad wasn't aware of how bad it was.
No.
Oh no, because if I would have told him that,
Right.
he would have.
It lost.
I had just made that
Right.
decision inside of okay, I'm going to be here.
Yeah, I know how long Katie lived like that.
Mm-hmm.
I do. So brutal.
So, and we'll fast forward. We'll get to where it's bad now. Dad's going every once in a while, and if you don't know anything about dialysis, you don't go to dialysis, you got about 14 days to live.
Die.
If you're lucky. Yeah. Because it's filtering all the toxins out of your blood that your kidneys can't do anymore. And at this point, I myself am getting done with the fight with him. You know, the crying, the asking whys, and
You or him?
me.
Okay.
Losing. You know, some people might think my dad was a piece of shit for the drugs and shit. To me, my dad was my hero. My dad.
Still your dad.
I wouldn't be the working person I am today if it wasn't for him and my brother teaching me to do the things that I do, to use my hands and to fix anything, you know. But I'm done. I can't fight with him anymore. I know he doesn't want to fight with me anymore. And I come home one day and he's like, "Hey, I need to sit down and have a talk with you." And I'm like, "Fuck." He's like, I ain't going anymore. And I said, so that's fine because I'm done fighting with you.
No.
I can't do it anymore. This shit's driving me insane. And I was like, but I told him how I felt. I mean, he's crying, I'm crying. I want you to live. I'm not ready for you.
What year is this, Brad?
This
I
is
know what it is, but just
2020.
Right.
This is fucking the great days, COVID.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and at this point too, we're not having parties anymore. We're not going out. We're trying to keep the kids in. We're only going to the store when we need to go to the store. We're trying to keep the house uncontaminated.
Yeah.
Or whatever the
and correct
fuck
me if
was
I'm
going wrong.
but you're kind of doing two jobs too, aren't you? Kind of bouncing back and forth at work.
Yeah.
Covering for me because I was going through cancer at this time.
Yeah. That was crazy times at work.
And I wasn't
And,
home, I was home.
So we're keeping people. We're not having parties. We're trying to keep the shit out of the house for Dad because we knew if Dad caught it, it would probably take him out, you know. But then he sits me down and he's like, "Hey, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to dialysis anymore." Like I was saying earlier, I've went with him before. It's just a cold ass room. It's a cold ass room, and you sit in a chair, and they put needles in your arm.
With a bunch of other sick people.
Yeah, it's depressing when you go in there. I mean, it makes me sad when I go in. I'm like, all these people in this room don't have
Same
much
way
time.
when you went in for chemo.
Yeah, same shit.
I would get it with my dad.
Poison.
And you're in there staring at each other like we are now. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who's gonna make it longer?
Right. Yeah.
And I was like, I can't argue with you, Dad. It sucks. I don't want to see you throw in the towel because that's not how I was raised,
Right.
you know, to give up. And I had to come with terms with that, and it was really, really hard. So I took at that point, you know, if he ain't going to go, he's got about 2 weeks. So we made the appropriate phone calls to I had to let people know as far as in the medical that this is his choice.
Yep.
You know, so the dialysis people knew that he wasn't going to be showing up, you know. So they lined me up with hospice and all that stuff when it was time. So I took 2 weeks off from work. Turned into 3, but I took 2 weeks off work and spent the rest of spent his last 2 weeks with him trying to do some of the last things he wanted to do.
What did he want to do?
Real good friends of his have a cabin up in Long Barn. We went up there. He wanted to go to Yosemite. And I told him we couldn't go to Yosemite because at this point you gotta have a permit to get in. They're only letting so many people go in. But I drive his ass all the way to the damn gate after leaving Longbarn just to prove a point, Dad, we can't get in. Took him to some of the old creeks around there that he used to fish as a kid. But yet I was still being that alcoholic. Still wanted to get home to that drink, you know. Sucked. We just spent time with each other, you know. Just having people come over, pretty much saying their goodbyes, and he was fine. He just, you know, he just lived like it was a normal day, you know, until it got really, really bad towards the end there. But I invited all his buddies over to hang out and talk shop from back in the day, you know, and he really enjoyed it. But he got tired, and then it was time to where he couldn't get out of bed anymore, you know. And I think that weekend was Jonathan's birthday, and he gave me money to go buy him a gift and shit. And we didn't really want to have a party for him because, you know, Dad's in there. I think at this point he only has like 2 days left, you know. And he's like, no, you're gonna have a party for that kid. Like, don't let this. don't do it because of me. So we still have a party and stuff, and his dad loved the kids. I mean, Christmas around our house was stupid. Like, it was pathetic when Dad was there.
Spoiled them.
Oh, it was embarrassing. You come to my house. Stupid.
Blessed.
I'm like,
blessed.
It ain't gonna be like this next year when he's not here. I'm telling you that right now. So he just, I just fucking trying to drown it out as best I could, man. I was.
After he passed.
Not before, just during that 2 weeks was
Both.
bad, you know.
Yeah.
We took him camping. I forgot about that. Yeah, we took him camping. It was so bad we took him camping. He could barely get around, but he wanted to go camping. He had to sleep in a chair out. Did he sleep outside? No, we got him in the trailer.
Yeah.
But I knew that was that night, that it was his last night, so I slept on the couch. And I woke up at like 5 in the morning. And it was like I woke up right when he passed, it seemed like. Because I knew when I went in there he was gone, you know. But he was at peace. And I couldn't, for him to go any better than the way he did, you know. But I had to move on. But right after that, you know, I walk in there, it seemed like that. I'm in the kitchen pouring tequila shots. It's just getting after it. Didn't even hesitate, you know.
5 in the morning.
Oh yeah, getting after
Gotta
it.
kill that pain.
So we get through that, you know, and then now it's just me and her and the kids, and we're trying to figure it out.
Readjusting.
Yeah, and the drinking for me is not. It's not slowing down. It's just slowly going and going.
And how far away is your plan?
At this point, I'm just thinking, because something that was odd to me when Dad passed was he didn't cry. He didn't. I remember him, you know, going into Dad's room, and then he went out and just started drinking Patron out of the bottle, and he didn't cry. And I thought, okay, that's interesting. And then that just turned into weeks. And my point is, as soon as he's done grieving, I'm out. Like, I know our relationship is over. He's so angry at me because he blamed me for his dad passing. He thought if I took care of him better, he'd still be alive. And so I knew our relationship was over, and I'm just waiting for the right time to leave.
How far after? Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, how far after Dad passing did you end up leaving?
I didn't move out until 2022. Dad passed in 2020. We had our ups and downs, but I start to drink less.
Okay.
And
so you were tailing off.
I was. I mean, I was still drinking. I don't want it to be like, oh my God, I was still drinking, but I was my relationship to God was getting stronger, and I was really relying on him to get through each day. And I was just praying for peace, and his drinking was getting worse and worse. And
because I'm kind of not in the middle, but having lost a dad, and knowing Brad's, because he covered for me going through cancer, and after all this, I could see the difference in him and his, you know, and I could been recovered. I knew what was going on with him, and I could see it from a distance. I didn't know this was going on in the house, but I knew he was getting worse. After his dad died, I could see it in him. Very visible. Am I wrong?
No, you're 100% correct.
Were you up at where you're at now? Were you at the plant that you're at now?
Yeah, but I was overseeing 2 plants at the same time.
When I was going for cancer, he was covering for me, and kind of he was double dipping, and Dad was dying.
Gotcha.
You know, he had a lot going on, and you know, the
it's
drinking.
Just, it's crazy. Like Grace said, I didn't cry, and I still haven't to this day. Like
You just did.
Just did.
No.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah, I have moments when I'm driving to work And
oh yeah, well that the other day.
Shit hits me and I start leaking. But I've never like broke down.
We'll do some step work on that later.
I've broke. I don't know what it is. I've dealt with a lot of death in my life. A lot of death in my life. Starting at an early age, and I did a lot of crying when I was younger. I don't know. I don't know why. It just, and it's still to this day. It's made me, my emotions. It's really changed me as a man as far as crying. And it's good to get it out. I'm not one of those people to say don't cry. I mean, getting it out's good. It's good shit.
That's healing, baby. So get us to where she is.
Right.
You see taillights.
So it just, for me to get through the days, I go to work, and you got to remember, I'm working 10, 12 hours, 15-hour days, come home. I'm tired as shit, and I'm drinking. Same thing. But now I'm really starting to, like, do it behind her back. You know, you hear this shit in the room. Oh, I hit it here, and I hit it there. Like, I was getting to that point where I had a bottle stashed, and I'm really drinking and then trying to cover shit up. And she's telling me, oh, you need to quit. And I'm like,
did you say quit, Grace, or did you tell him to cut back?
Well, I would say I started with cutting back hard alcohol. So that's when I wasn't drinking the hard alcohol anymore. I was trying to be like, let's just take that out of the house.
Right.
On like for weekends partying, yeah, but during the week, let's just keep it to alcohol.
I think it started as when you drink whiskey, you're an asshole. So I think I stopped doing that for a little bit, doing tequila and then all the same asshole come out. But then I stopped. I was like, all right, I'm not an alcoholic. I stopped for 2 weeks. I think it was 2 weeks.
Because something had happened in our relationship that happened with another woman. And that was it for me. I was like, you have disrespected me.
On the note, it wasn't cheating.
Okay. But it was so disrespectful that I said, so this was the end of the summer of 2021. And I said, okay, I'm done. Like, this is bullshit. You're not going to treat me like this. And I was like, I'm done. I'm out. Right. This is it for me. Yeah. And he was like, I'm going to quit drinking. So we quit drinking. No, you only quit drinking for a few days. That's right. And then in the next year, that was February of 20. Was it February?
I didn't bring my calendar.
20.
Sorry.
I think. So maybe it was the summer of 2020 that happened. So after Dad passed away, this happened with this girl, and then, come February of 2021, he was like, "Okay, I'm going to show you I can do it. I'm going to quit drinking." So
was that the 2 week?
Yeah, quit drinking for 2 weeks. Then he goes out and buys me this $20,000+ ring, right? Because that's gonna.
I remember that.
How we fix stuff. Yeah.
So, you know, what can I complain? I have this gorgeous ring. I have my dream ring, and on the way home from buying my ring, after 2 weeks of being sober, he drinks, and it just kept progressing, and I kept saying I was going to leave, and then finally, January of 2022, I said, I'm out. I'm done, and I went. And
well, it was slow. She said she's going, and then I'm like, no, don't go. And I know I'm trying to be this sweet, romantic guy. And she's crying as she's already, like, got a deposit on this place, and she's like, just change my mind. Help me change my mind. And I'm like, doing everything in my possible mind to change her mind.
Quit drinking.
Baby steps. Yeah, except quit drinking. Like, I was slowing down. I was trying to slow down, but I was still.
It's our disease, man.
I was still drinking. I mean, I slowed down a little bit, but that was right there at the tail end of it. It wasn't, I wasn't doing it when I had the signs that, like, hey. And I, if I could have figured it out and slowed down and managed it, I could have probably been still drinking to this day. But that wasn't in the cards for me. I lost that ability.
We lost that privilege, is how I say it.
I wasn't drinking to have fun anymore. That's when I lost it. When I quit drinking to have fun, and I was drinking to drown shit out and to make it through the day, It was over. I lost it. It
was work.
I'm not saying nobody can, but for me, I don't think I could ever get that back, just for fun in here and there. Like my brother, he's normal. He'll have a drink once in a great while.
He's not one of us.
He goes to the casino. He might have a drink because it's for free.
Right.
But
he just lost $500.
You're not going to see him.
Free.
You're not going to see him drunk saying stuff to his wife that he's going to regret tomorrow.
Right.
You know, and he's damn sure ain't going to say it in front of other people.
Yeah.
And but it came, and I'm over here like, oh, she ain't gonna leave, you know. And she left, and I think she set me up because
how so?
She made all the kids come home that day, and she got home later, and then she picked up all the kids and made me walk out the door.
You had to walk the kids out the door to the car?
I couldn't walk them out. They were all crying. Everybody's crying. Like, I'm crying. The kids are crying. They're hugging on me. And it was not her. She wasn't crying. She's giving me the death
I had
stare.
no more tears left.
Gotta say, she'd been crying the last 4 years, buddy.
Yep, tears were gone.
This is what you fucking get. Look, and it sucked. And that's when I'm like, fuck, I gotta.
What did you think right then? As they were driving away and you are alone now, what was on your mind?
I'm going to get that back. I'm going to get that back. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I mean, I know what I need to start, but I'm going to get that back in full.
And this is in January of 2022?
Yeah, February. At this, by the time I move in, it's the beginning of February. Yeah.
And where'd you move to?
The ghetto.
But it was Oakdale?
It was Oakdale. It was full of
it's fine.
Of cockroaches.
I'm just curious if you moved out of town.
They were so big, they talked to you.
Brad hated because... Anyway, go ahead, keep telling.
So I was like, yeah, I got to get this back. I got to figure shit out. I mean, that's... you're watching me kind of go downhill, and...
What do you mean?
Well, takes one to know one, right?
Yes, sir.
But I didn't know what I was going to do. I mean, honestly, dude, I try to forget shit in my life. So I got to sit here.
Brad, I got to stop you right there because you keep saying that. And
I do. I try to drown stuff out of my life so I don't have to remember it.
You say this all the time, and now I'm going to get emotional. How much you and I are alike. Katie gets so mad because I always tell her, that's just the way we are. That's just the way we are. It's just the way we are. And Katie gets mad.
And rightfully so.
That's not fucking normal.
No.
That's not normal fucking living.
No.
That's not normal for us to do that. You know that. That ain't fucking normal. The way you and I were raised, that we just go, just let it go. No big deal. Let it go.
It's not healthy.
It's not healthy. I know that now.
Well, it's more normal than you think, because look who's sitting around this fucking table.
Right.
But it's just not healthy.
No.
So, how did you know where to go?
Oh, when I was digging my hole, you came over and fucking looked in there and said, hey, I can help you out of there. And and at that point, I mean, I knew. I went to AA when I was 18 when I got in trouble for a weed ticket. I got pulled over and, got a weed ticket. So back then you could choose to go to AA or NA. And I'm like, well, I ain't no fucking drug addict, so I'll go hang out with some alcoholics. I don't drink, so I'll go listen to some old timers talk about getting drunk. So I knew what AA was, and I knew how they were as a family because I did all.
Hold on, but can you finish that story? Because that is a great story. So at 18, please tell me.
I do all the, I'm going to AA meeting like 4 a.m. before I go to work because you got to get one of those guys to sign your card before you can get into the actual county drug class. So I do all these. I don't share. I'm just here to get my card signed. I'm just that guy in the back, and they're small groups, but they're great people. And the last day, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna share. I'm gonna tell these people the truth why I'm here. And I told them, I'm not an alcoholic. I'm just here because I got a weed ticket, and I don't want to go where I lived in Calaveras County. If you went to NA, it was all tweakers. It was bad shit. So,
and they went there to sell it.
Yeah, so I tell them, I'm like, hey, I didn't want to go to NA. I wanted to go to AA, and they were all just happy. And then,
I already had a plan to go to court. And when I got out of court, I was going to go get a bag of weed and start smoking again. And they're like, well, are you going to keep coming back? And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, what the fuck did they just hear what I said? But they were just the most nice people. They wanted me to keep coming back. I'm like, no, I'm not. This is it. I'm going to court today, and I will not be back. But what is it?
Prophetic.
What was it?
20 years later?
Yeah, almost.
Right.
A little less than.
Yeah, back at it again. Where were we going with that?
Well, I was hanging out.
Oh yeah, you were hanging out, and I knew how to get sober. I didn't know anybody, so I knew you were sober, but we never really talked about it much back then. I knew you were sober. I didn't know anybody else really that was happy and sober like you. We just started talking, and then you said something in the lines that you guys were. I think you guys just recently just started that little men's group, right. Yeah. And you're like, oh, come to this house over. And we have a little meeting on Mondays, and it was right down the street from my house.
That was at Aaron's house?
Yeah, literally like quarter mile down the house. And I'm like, fuck, I don't want to do this again. I got to do something. And I don't think I could just quit. Like, if I just quit and tell her I quit, it's not going to work.
Nope.
It's not going to work. I gotta do something. I got to show action.
Can I ask a question? After I left, when did you contact Rob?
It was more like Rob contacted me. He seen me going downhill quick.
But was it before I left or after I left that you had this conversation?
I want to say after you left.
It building up. I didn't know what was going on at home, but I know the signs. And you cannot go up and tell an alcoholic, hey, you got fucking problems. Right. And I knew after his dad, because my dad passed years ago, and I struggled. And I struggled poorly. But I saw the progression. I knew what was going on with Brad, and he took over my job as foreman. And I had my crew, or my old crew, saying, Rob?
Yeah, let's go back a minute. So I've been following Rob's footsteps for fucking quite some time now.
Oh, yeah. When I would leave a position, right. Brad would get
right in behind. Took over for him for that hop plant. I started running that hop plant, and he went to a foreman's position. And then he moved up higher, so I took his spot as a foreman position. And then now I'm following your footsteps of trying to be sober. I'm not trying.
Get back and answer Grace's question.
So here's the question. So he was, and I was hanging out a little bit. I wouldn't go. I just hang out in the office sometimes. It wouldn't even go down to where the guys were. Just waiting, picking people because those are my. They're not mine. They're his now, but they were still mine. They're. And Brad was not Brad. He was in pain. He was drinking. He was not right. So and I was just hanging out. And eventually, when you finally left, and I'd planted seeds. So he knew what, but then when you left, it wasn't maybe a day or two, maybe the next day that he had come to me again, I think it was at the water truck again, but.
And what did he say to you?
I don't remember. That's some of that shit that I tried.
I had told him, where's this meeting at? I go, well, because
I think you're right.
Because if he remember Aaron's dog had ran away. Brad found it.
No, my neighbor found it, but brought it to my house.
Brad's house, and that's I go, remember that house where the dog came from? We have a meeting there. There was only 4 of us at that time. We just started back up. It was me, Aaron, Doug, and Jason. I said, it's right down. Here's the address. This is the time it starts. I did not expect to see him, but just plant seeds, open the door.
Yeah.
And that's when the 2 shots in the beer came up. Go ahead.
So I had
hold on a second. I am not going to let you jump past this question that Grace asked.
What?
How long after she left did you ask?
Oh, I started
the next day.
No.
Oh, I started getting after it right then.
The next day.
So I didn't stop drinking right that second.
No, but the day after Grace left, that's when you asked Rob about the meeting?
No,
Rob approached me. I never really went to him. He's seen me.
Did you know I left? Is that why you did it?
I approached him before. Then after she had left, he wanted to remind her, hey, where'd you say that meeting was at?
Yeah, because I think I started talking to you before she was. Because I knew she was leaving, and I was kind of venting.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Venting,
Grace, I had your back on that.
Thank you. I don't know this part of it.
It was quick.
But I was venting, trying to be like, hey, I'm the shit. Why is she leaving?
Right.
Look, this is what I do, and I do this and that.
Look at the house she lives in.
She gonna leave me.
Look at the fucking ring on her finger. What the fuck?
Exactly.
Right.
Oh, I did it, Grace.
So I just knew I had to get sober, but I had to take action, and just quitting wasn't gonna work for me, because if I just quit at that point, when you're at the point where you're sneaking it, you're a fucking grown man, and you got to sneak alcohol.
Oh boy,
like, you're not gonna win.
No,
just quitting on your own, it's not gonna happen.
No,
maybe for a couple days, maybe like for 2 weeks that I did, but I didn't want to go to the meeting. Thought about it all day at work. I don't want to go. I got to do something. I don't know these people. I don't want to talk to people. I don't want people to know my shit. And I got home, but I was like, I got to go. I got to fucking prove to her. I got to start somewhere. I got to start proving to her that I'm going to do this. And yeah, when I started, it was for her. When I quit drinking, it was for her and my family.
I'm glad you made that point, Brad, because we talked about that yesterday.
Yeah,
glad you made that point.
I 2 shots and a beer is what it took me to go, and I finished a beer right in fucking Aaron's driveway, hoping no one would see me. But at that point, I didn't care. I was like,
did you throw that empty can in his lawn?
Nah, I threw it in the back of my truck or in the back seat. But I was like, I'm fucking here. They see me drinking. I don't care. Like, I'm here. I mean, at that point, I'm like, I don't want them to see me drinking, but fuck it. They're not going to tell me to leave. And then you're going to someone's house, so that kind of made me feel a little bit more comfortable. And then we go in there, and it's just men like me, I'm still the young buck in there, but it's just, we're all hardworking blue-collar guys, and we started talking. I think we started reading. I wish I can find. I can't remember. We started reading a story out of the book, and
it'll come back to you one of these days when you least expect it.
It hit me. It hit me hard.
Right.
And I'm just like, fuck, I can relate to so much shit. And I was trying to hold the tears back in there, because you're in there with a bunch of men, and it wasn't happening. Like, I started leaking, and I'm trying to do the eye rubs where you can't.
Dude, and he's sitting by me, and I'm so grateful, because when that's happening.
Yeah.
God's got him right. When this is effective, God's got him right where he wants him.
Hitting hard.
He doesn't know that.
Right.
But I do.
When I walked out of there, I knew I was an alcoholic. And I knew I was not going to do this on my own. And I knew that there was hope, because I really didn't want to go to rehab. I have, my company or whatever pay for that stuff. In my mind, I was like, I got to be at work. I got to keep those bills paid,
Oh, yeah. I went through it.
And I know she's just got a new place. I know she's going to need money. She ain't going to want my money. She ain't going to want to talk to me. But I know it's going to come down to where I'm going to have to help support that over there, too. And
that you created.
Yeah, that I created. So there's no argument.
Yeah, that's
right.
the
If I wanted to tell her to go get fucked, I might as well just kept drinking.
Right. Yep.
So I went home. Just fucking mess. That night I probably cried more than I've ever cried.
By yourself?
Yeah, by myself. So here I am in my house, by myself, with the dog, crying. And I think she left the bottle there. There was like a half a bottle of, big bottle, gallon of JD, Jack Daniels. I was just sitting there just processing, what the fuck am I going to do as I'm drinking shots. For some reason, I just kept pouring shots and drinking them. And then I'm like, oh, I'm going to make a video. I'm going to show her how much she means to me.
Oh, boy.
I bust out my phone, make a video. Still haven't watched it to this day. Make the video, and then there's still quite a bit in this bottle. I was like, I'm done. And I videoed, and I poured the rest of it out. I was like, I ain't going to do this anymore. And I haven't
had a drink since.
900 days. I haven't had a drink since. And then
you never sent that video to her?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did?
I made it a
Oh,
point. I don't make something and not send
He's
it.
never watched it.
You never
I
watched
never watched it.
Oh, she sent it.
Oh,
So-
I was a pain in the ass. I had to send in a bunch of clips, make her down WhatsApp.
No. This is so I'm in my new house and he's telling me he's getting sober and I'm so mad. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I move out and then you're gonna decide to get sober? Like, so it's like, I think it's only day 3. This is why I was wondering when you guys connected. And he calls me. It's like 10 o'clock at night. He's gone to AA. I know he has. And he calls me and he's like, I made this video. We're going to get back together. And I'm like, fuck you. And then he starts saying, you're
Not as polite as that. Just so
no.
you
And
know.
he's like, you're such
I know you better, Brad.
like ungrateful bitch. And he was just going off. And I'm like, okay, this is
That's
perfect.
going to win her back.
I was like, this is perfect. You just validated why I moved out. This is great. And then he's like, no, I'm going to send you a video. And I want you to watch it. And so I said, okay. So he sends this video through WhatsApp. And I mean, he is annihilated. And I can tell that he is.
I think I had my shirt off.
And
Hell yeah.
Well, this was after leaving that meeting.
Yes.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
This is my final.
That was the final.
and he
But never delete that video, by the way. Keep
No.
and in the video he's pouring
pouring out the last of
But it was a long video. It wasn't something I could just send in a text message. That's why I had to send it on
the
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp.
It was me pouring my heart out. Drunk.
YouTube, baby.
Oh yeah.
But what was so interesting about the video is that as drunk as he was like, I'm never gonna drink this again. And he was pouring the Jack Daniels down the sink. And he recorded
It
that.
was devastating.
But
I'm crying right fucking now. That was my drink of choice.
it was such a powerful moment that I didn't realize until later on. And I recently watched it again. And yeah.
You watched it again. You didn't tell me that.
I think sometimes I just have to remember where we've come from.
Oh, absolutely. Never forget that. That's so important.
And so it's so interesting that something I was so angry about for the longest time, I can go back and watch it, be so grateful that was the last time he drank.
After you got done watching, not this time, but the first time, did you believe him?
Oh, that shit didn't mean nothing to her the first
Right.
time.
No, it never does.
That was just a fucking cry for help.
Right.
Just,
But here's
just kissing ass, just trying to make things better.
what point did you look to yourself? And I'm sorry to break that, and I did it on purpose because I don't think you want to continue to go down that. Am I right? Yeah. At what point did you realize, shit, he's real? This is for real.
I would say probably 6 months in, I was going to a counselor. Well, I mean, I was going to a counselor before that, but about 6 months into his sobriety, I was pushing him. Like, I was pushing every fucking button I could push. I knew him.
To irritate him?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, atta girl.
Oh, yeah. I was like, I am not going to go through this again. I'm not going to move back home. I'm not going to give you any more of my time if you're not serious about this. And about 6 months in, I thought, okay, I think this is real. Like, he was just loving me. He was.
I kept showing up. I kept showing up sober
every day.
I wouldn't leave her alone.
And we started having meetings at Brad's house.
I know. I was a part of
That's
that.
where you started showing up.
But my first meeting was at Brad's house, and it was the most. And I'm going to tell you this: the first time I walked in there, it felt like the most emptiest house I've ever walked into.
That's because it was.
Oh my! But dude, just the feeling of it, right? I didn't know that your wife had moved out.
You should try to live in a house. If you're listening and your wife's telling you to get sober while you have family around you. Because if you try to do it when your family leaves,
I couldn't even imagine.
Fuck.
I couldn't even. I just. So about 6 months.
But that was my biggest thing, and I was resentful for, man, you're going to leave me. Like, I need to get sober. I need you. She's
help.
like, you're on your fucking own.
Right.
And I'm like,
I've been here.
How dare
Right.
you? Like, you say you love me, but you're going to leave me on my ass to figure this out? Like, but that's what it took for me. You know, I had to do it on my own. I had to figure it out.
Can I ask you, I mean, of course, in the steps in the book and, you know, in the meetings, but how much, because every day at work, almost every day I would come, because in my position, I travel from plant to plant to plant, and I always made a stop, no matter what, I'd always stop by Clements.
Right.
To see Brad during this time, because...
But he wouldn't come approach me. He knew I'd come find his ass if he was there.
Because
Because I had some shit to get out.
Get out. But that's my question. How healing is, because...
You got to get it out. You got to get it out. I don't care how tough you are. You think you're going to hold it in, and it's going to... You got to get it out. Even just getting it out. If you still don't hear what you want to hear, just getting it out, it just makes it so much better, because eventually it's going to come out. And for me, if I didn't ask you questions or vent to you and tell you what I thought about, you know, her pissing me off or she's this bad person, if I didn't get that out, I was probably going to come back out on her.
Yeah, eventually it comes out one way or another.
Yeah.
But that's...
You got to get it out. You got to talk.
And now how helpful was, because you guys, she was just coming back in the home about the time we had other men kind of going through similar who were leaning on Brad.
Well, hold on a second. No, because I got sober in April. So this happened in February. So you were a month ahead of me. So I started coming. So in March,
She was out of the house for 8 months.
Right. It was May. It was May when I first started. I'm pretty sure May or June when my first meeting at Brad's, and it was like it was cold in there. In fact, I didn't come to the next week. I didn't come back because it just felt that, and I think it was just the vibe of the house. And I think Brad, you were still pretty angry at that time.
Oh yeah.
Brad was still struggling.
I was angry at her for a long time.
Right.
Because how could somebody, this is how I felt. How could somebody that loved me so much dump me on my ass and tell me to figure it out? And like, at this point, I'm like, she ain't coming back. But either way, I'm going to show her that I could get sober.
I'm going to ask this question only for other people, but how long could a man that loves a woman so much continue to hurt a woman so much? That's the question I ask myself, Brad. Whenever I start, you know.
But that's from this perspective.
No. That's what I understand. But when I was like, how could that woman do that to me and hurt me? Right? That's me. That's me. That's us. But what we don't look about is how long we hurt them before they did that.
But here's where I stand. We had the house. We had the white picket fence. We had the dog. We had the kids. We had a refrigerator full of food. We had nice cars. We had money in the bank. I did this. I did that. I did this. I did this for you. Yep. But that's how I was raised.
Right. Nope. Me too.
And I
thought,
are
you complaining about?
Yeah.
What
fucking
the fuck
happy.
Are you complaining about? I'm not dead.
Yeah. And
so how long till the wheels?
But I wasn't like, my parents loved me. You know, there was love in our house. I seen a lot of crazy shit, but I never was really raised how to love a woman. Like I struggle with it to this day. Is I do not know how to love. Like I'm learning. You know, we just celebrated 8 years last week, of marriage, and I'm still learning her love language, and it's hard. It's a struggle.
Grace, how's he doing? You're still here.
On what day?
But no, but I mean, again, I'd love to say I'm a great dad, but that's up to you. Ask my 22-year-old daughter and my 19-year-old son, because those are the ones I parent. I can say I'm a great husband. Go ask my wife. I can't answer that question.
Right.
Grace, how is he doing? You're still here. I know you love your husband. I know he loves you, but how is he doing?
He's working on it.
Yeah.
She got 3 dozen roses the other day.
But
what did you do wrong?
Which is great, but how's he doing?
Everything.
I love the roses are great, but how's he doing?
Get it out. You got hate in your heart. Get it out.
Yeah, see that?
No, I just think it's a journey, you know. Absolutely. Every day is a journey, and every day is a choice, and you know, there's good days and there's bad days, but.
Can I ask another question? Ask you another question? Because, I mean, it's not in every relationship. Of course, when there's the alcoholic, it's glaring. Okay, the problem, that's glaring. Once that's gone, did you have to do any growing, any changing? Did you see any things that you needed to do? You know, I wasn't, you know, I didn't walk on water either. There's some things I need to work on as this comes back together. Anything that you needed to change or felt you did or seen?
Yeah, I think a lot of when first of all, when someone that you love is going through their sobriety, you lose the person you fell in love with.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Okay. So and you're meeting a new person.
And I remember sharing that with you at the wrestling banquet. And that was something I was struggling with because Brad wasn't the man I fell in love with. And I had to grieve that.
That loss.
And so then when you meet this new person on the other side of sobriety, you have to, and going through counseling, that was one thing he was saying is you have to choose this. You have to choose to love him as he chooses sobriety every day. You have to wake up every day and choose to love him. And that's been the journey for me is waking up every day and choosing to love him and not relying on him for my happiness, because Brad will never be enough to make me happy. And it's not fair for me to put that on his shoulders to carry. But I'm also going to say I have a really, I don't have a good relationship with my dad. And I did often rely on Brad to be the man that I didn't have as a child. And that wasn't. So for growth for me was to have my peace and my hope and my joy come from God alone and not from my husband. And knowing that God loves Brad where he is, and if God is in me, then I need to love him the way he does where he is. And every day choosing to fall in love with him and the man that he is today. He's such a different guy.
How so? I mean, obviously the drink is there, but because we see it as well. The Brad that came into the Brad now, it's amazing. Different.
Night and day.
Mm-hmm.
Night and day.
But look at the smile on your face, too, because it's amazing.
Brad and I grew together, though.
Absolutely.
We were twins in the womb.
Absolutely.
Because we're only a month apart, and I was as angry as he was, but I still had my family. I still had all that. He was angry for different reasons than I was angry, and we grew together, and we watched each other grow through those 6 months, 8 months. And I'll never forget when Brad calls me. It's like the first time he ever calls me, and I'm like, huh? And he says, you don't realize how much you and I are alike. And I'm like, huh. All right. So yeah, but we grew together in that sobriety period of time to when I saw my peace starting to come is when was right after I saw Brad's peace come in. And to watch him grow, I knew I was just
get it out. What he's trying to say is he wants to be like me.
I knew my peace was coming.
Right. If you continued to do the work.
Right. Because I knew that he had worked
Everybody's
through.
crying. It's awesome.
I knew he had worked through what I'd already worked through. Right. You know, I didn't have to fight to get my wife to move back home with me. She was still here, which I don't know what's harder, trying to get her to move back home or trying to get her to love me again. And Grace, you said it.
I love the way you said it too.
So graceful the way you said it, is that you had to learn to love him as the sober man that he is. And I know that that's what Katie's going through. You know, our personalities and me, how I am, I want shit now. I want it right now.
What do you mean I got to wait? Look at what I've done. I've been sober for 29 months, 900 days. I think I'm at 862 or something like that. I'm right behind him.
But you look at that every day.
Fuck you. Fuck you, Brad. I'm proud happy I asked you that. But we just were having this conversation the other day that I brought something up and Brad goes, I'm going through that same shit. I'm like, fuck. But our wives are. I mean, we do. They learn how to love.
We hope.
Right?
What a gift.
Thank you. Let's just go back. I mean, it was so bad in the beginning when she moved out. She's like, I'm getting you back. Like, I'm going her over the time. I'm going to the meeting. I'm going to get her food. I'm bringing food over to the house because I know she's just fucking work, mentally drained. I've just taken everything that she has.
And at this time when he's talking to me and we're talking every day at the plant, right. He's starting to take inventory. He's starting to take his inventory and growing.
But I'm going over there. I'm annoying the shit out of her. I'm being nice, and she's just like she said. She's pushing my buttons, and I'm just taking the beating. And then at one point, I remember calling my uncle because he went through this stuff, and I'm like, I'd tell him because I got to process to my family, that my wife left,
right?
And he's telling me, "Oh, you love her?" I'm like, yeah, I love the shit out of her. I mean, yeah, I did what I did, but I love her. And he's like, all right, well, you're going to take a beating. I'm like, what do you mean you're going to take a beating? He's like, you're going to take a beating. I'm like, I ain't taking no fucking beating. It's not happening. Like, I'm not taking a beating. Like, I'll get sober. I'm going to figure this out, but I ain't taking a beating. He said, if you love her, you're going to take a beating. He said, it's not going to last forever, but you're going to take a beating. Just trust me. And I'm like, fuck. I'm going to take a beating, I guess. And I took that beating. And I took it good, and she laid it on me. I mean, today I can understand that. How are you gonna all of a sudden be sober,
right?
And everything's gonna be perfect. So she's gonna push my buttons and see if I'm gonna crack, and I didn't. There was days I went over there, she would let me sleep on the floor. I mean, at one point, we got an air mattress, just like when we first met. When I used to go over a house, we were sleeping on an air mattress because the kids had a bedroom, and we were back on an air mattress. It was like we were like in the beginning days again, and there was days where she'd get mad, and I'd have to go home because she had enough of me. But I kept being present, and I kept being there because I wanted her to see.
They would send her texts in the morning,
Yeah, I just wanted her to see that I'm doing this. I'm doing this for you guys.
And there would be days he would text me that he loved me, and I would tell him I
remember those.
And I would say, I can't today. Right. I don't love you.
You were protecting yourself.
Yeah, today I'm angry at you.
Yeah. And then I'm like, you're going to come home one day? She's like, I'm not coming back to that house. You're going to sell that house. We're going to get a new house because there's so many memories in that house. I am not coming back to the house. I'm like, you're throwing this on my plate. How am I supposed? I'm trying to get sober right here. Now you're telling me I got to sell the house. Now I'm thinking about selling the house. I mean, it got so bad to one point. I'm calling the realtor, not the realtor, but the lending, because I'm thinking about fucking buying her out.
Right.
I'm like,
well, because I told you to, because I was so angry at you that I was like, fuck this. I'm going to go buy my own house.
I was going to buy her out and fucking go back to drinking and go lose it all.
How many men in our meetings that we go to do we hear that's what they chose to do, right? I mean, you hear that all the time. She got mad and left, so I kept drinking. Fuck her. And how many of those men, if you really truly ask them, would you still be married to that one? Yeah, probably.
Oh yeah.
If my drinking would have been, they don't, because they're remarried, right? So they don't say no. I would still be married to that one, and I regret it. But they know that because they made the decision that you just talked about, and they gave up what you two now have, which is to me. My relationship with Katie, and I've said this to other people before, my relationship with Katie, in my eyes, for me, I'm more deeply in love with her now than I think I ever have. And I think that has to do with my age. I think that has to do with my sobriety. I think that has to do with where I am in my relationship with God. I think that has everything to do with my serenity and my peace in life. Because I know what God has given me and what that woman went through to still be with me, shit, that's a saint down there. That woman for
Brad came to a crossroads in his at 8 months sober. We've had a lot of talks around the water truck at his place. At 8 months sober, just out right before, just out right into his 8 month.
Well, I knew where I'll finish what he's gonna say.
Say it.
I knew I was doing the right thing. Is when I told Rob, I said, that's when I flipped the script. I'm like, all right, I'm being sober for me now.
Attaboy.
Like
that was coming.
If I'm,
but everything changed for him. I mean, his whole demeanor.
Right.
I'm like, I'm gonna be sober, and I'm gonna be sober for her. Like, I still want my family back. But if she says, no, it's too late. Like, I'm gonna be sober for the next woman because I've already got a good record.
And what I was saying earlier when I saw that was right about 9 months, and that was when I saw it for myself. Was right around 9 months, 10 months. So
my thing is, I don't care how you get sober, what takes you to get sober. Your dog died, your dad died, your wife left you,
whatever,
or it's this time. But whatever gets you in,
right?
Get you in,
right?
But you will find out that you're gonna stay sober for yourself, because if you don't stay sober for yourself, you're not gonna stay sober.
It ain't gonna work.
Right?
It ain't. How many times?
But once you see life change, and I thought I was the shit. You know, I thought I grew up. I thought I was maxed out on growing up. Now
I'm with you, brother.
I'm growing.
Right.
I'm growing every day. I mean, I still have bad days. They happen. Do I think about drinking on a bad day? No. I don't think about drinking anymore. If I have a bad day, I'm thinking about how I need to fix that, how I need to be better. Right. I'm still not the best lover. We still are married. We still have issues, you know. We still have our differences. It's going to be like that till the day we die. It's just being sober for yourself makes it a lot easier, I think.
Grace, do you ever get jealous of where he's at? Not jealous, but I'm trying to think how I say that. Do you think that, I don't know how much.
I want to say in the
beginning. I want to in a short time.
But I want to say in the beginning, you say you can't get sober for me. You got to get sober for you, and that used to piss me off. And I have to get sober for you.
But that was the counselor I had. He was 35 years sober.
Okay.
And
BT.
Big difference.
And he was amazing because he. I could say if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be with Brad. He's
also a believer.
Yes. He was just incredible in the healing journey. But to what you're saying, in a sense, it's kind of bullshit because you're the one, while this person is drinking, you're the one that gets the beating. You're the one that's called all the names. Everything is your fault. They're in hell and they bring you with them.
Drag you.
And then all of a sudden they get sober. They're surrounded by pink clouds. The life is great. And you're still trying to climb out of the pit of hell that they dragged you down. And so, yeah, there is resentment that there's so much joy over here. Yeah. So much celebration when you're just trying to get your life back together.
I think Katie fights that a lot. And we haven't really talked about. So in our book, page 82, he is like the farmer who came up out of the cyclone cellar to find his home ruined. To his wife he remarked, "Don't see anything wrong up here, Ma." But that's how what we're like when we first got sober. It's like, fuck, I'm sober. Why isn't everything normal? Everything's great, peaches and cream. Look at us. But we forget.
Top of page 64 is what we fucking forget.
Right, because we forget that our years of destruction and tearing down, it don't come back as easily to somebody that's not done the steps, been through the steps, done the work that we have, right? It's not as easily lifted. But I think the thing that people, and it may or may not make sense, and this is the only thing that has helped me, the pit of hell and the pit of darkness that I was in when I was in my drinking, it was so dark and so deep that when I got a glimmer of light, that pink cloud was beautiful to me. Everything was, I was still in a fucking pit of hell, but I had that pink cloud starting to grow, right? And I knew that that's where I was headed, and I was fucking happy about it. And I was going to keep going.
Bonnie's biggest one was, how the fuck can you get sober for you go to rehab, right? You come back, you go to a room with strange people, and then we change fast. We do these steps because 90% of people don't do these. You do the steps. We grow fast because we needed to grow fast. We needed that. She didn't need to grow as much as Brad. No. He needed to grow, but that's why because there's not much more room to grow. We grow.
Right.
But how can you get sober for all these people and not me and your kids? Now and I don't care what alcoholic you are, you can hang a picture of your kids and your wife in your rearview mirror. You're not getting sober. You're going to go continue to drink until the pain gets great enough. But that was kind of her resentment. How can you get sober for these? Mm-hmm. But she didn't have the same issue as you did as far as having to learn to love the man again. This new man, because I was kind of, it was just there. But her thing was, I'm not going to go through this and then have this man and gave that away to some other woman.
Right.
Fuck you, I'll burn you both in your house. That was her quote. I'd burn you both in. I'm not going to let some other woman have this. I'm not going to.
Have the joy of this.
Yes. Yeah. Have the joy of this. Hell no.
Yeah.
I'll kill you both. So,
Well, I had poor Katie. She threatened to leave. She literally told me about 6 months, 7 months after being sober that if it wasn't, and this is maybe different, and if it wasn't for me,
she told you, the fact that you were paying bills because if you had lost your job, she's gone.
She was been gone.
And God bless you for leaving because that's what.
Yeah. So needed. I don't know if I would have. I don't know. I think know. I know. So let me say this. I know at that period of time, and I remember what my thought process was. Good. I can drink better if she's gone. Nobody nagging at my ass. That's how deep I was.
But we know that now after working the steps. All the three of us sitting here know that's just a child whistling in the fucking dark.
But terrified.
You say that, but the last.
No, I know I was. No, I know. I remember the conversations that I had with people prior to. I mean, it took not even my son-in-law. It took my daughter's boyfriend not to answer a call.
He'll be your son-in-law.
He will. Yeah, they're engaged now. But why? I mean, my oldest daughter wouldn't come around. Hardly come around. She was embarrassed, But why it took that moment to go, fuck, I got a problem, right? And it really, and honestly, Brad, answer this question: if Grace would have came back within the first month, would you have still been sober?
I got sober immediately after she left. Like I didn't play around and fuck around. Like I wanted her back. I wanted her back the next day. Like
a lot of people when everything comes back too soon.
Right. That's my point. That's what I'm trying to get to. That's what I'm trying to get to.
But I was. I don't know. I was pissed at her when she left. Like I was fucking mad.
He needed that. So no one can answer that question. That's hypothetical.
Can I say something?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She's gonna say no. I wouldn't.
I would say the same thing.
So
I would agree with that.
Earlier you had asked when did I believe in his sobriety,
right?
And it was 6 months. 6 months is when I believed in his sobriety, and that's when I was talking to my counselor, and he said, and I said, "Is it okay if I move back home?" Because Brad's begging me to move back home. I'm believing in it. We're good. And he said, and I'm not quoting him, but he was like, "Don't make it too easy."
You drank the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Well, the counselor, that's great advice, though.
He said not to move back home. And he said no. He said, if you make it too easy for him, he'll start drinking again. And his advice was not to move back home at 6 months. And that's why I didn't. And I continued to have my own place.
I think it was 8 months, wasn't it?
Nine. It was a little over 9 months. And
there was a period of time you started coming home on the weekends, or you come home every once in a while.
But I didn't give up my spot. I wasn't committed to trying to make it work with him. And I think that's the best advice I got because I was believing in him, but he wasn't done proving to me. Right. So I think
still to this day not done proving?
No, but do I think if after 1 month I move back in? Yeah. Right. Even after 6 months, I was told there was a big chance he would start drinking again. So
I'm super lucky that she found that counselor, and If it wasn't for that guy,
I'd like to give him a shout out because he does a lot of help for people in our area.
But I wouldn't. I don't know if it would have meant. There's two things that kept us together. Was we were married. If we weren't married,
right?
See ya. Let me know what you want for child support because I'm fucking gonna go have fun. I'm not done. And then the second was that counselor. If it wasn't for him being in the program, understanding the program, we wouldn't have made it. I don't think she needed that somebody that she could listen to. Because in the beginning she wanted to sell the house. He tells her, "Hey, no rational decisions in the beginning. Right. Like you need to just calm. Everybody needs to just calm down and figure out what's going on before you start selling shit or doing anything like that." Because we would have sold the house today. If we got back together, we'd been grateful we're together. But we would have been like, why the hell did we sell the house?
Right.
We've been paying 7% interest right now.
He was instrumental in the fact of going back to my own growth. Right. It wasn't all about Brad. Right. I remember.
Did he ever ask you what was your part in anything? Now they ask, Grace, what was your part of this?
I'm sure he did, and I can't the things that stick out to me is, when I would say, "Oh, he doesn't do this and that," and he would. One thing that really stuck out, and he said, "What does loving Grace look like?" He's all, create a roadmap. He's all, because I would say, he didn't respect me and stuff, and he's like, "Okay, well, have you told him that?
What it looks like?"
Yeah, I'm like, "No." I said, "I actually don't even know what loving me looks like."
There's a map.
And so in one of my journals, in the back of it, I have a list of what loving me looks like. And that became my roadmap. So in the beginning, when we were getting back together, instead of getting angry if he went out of the boundaries, right? I would
he didn't know it.
Yeah, that he didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't even know.
I would be like, okay, this is what loving me looks like. So something so simple that I'm asking you to do, that's what loving me looks like. And so again, for my own personal growth and for having patience and understanding, he gave me so many tools to continue my marriage with Brad.
By the grace of God, we're married today.
Mm-hmm.
We still, like I said though, we still have our battles.
That's gonna happen.
We have 2 kids in college, 2 in high school, 1 graduating this year. We got 1 in elementary school.
Luxury.
We have
right.
Really good jobs that demand a lot out of us. We got a lot going on.
That's a full life right there, kid.
And then when we don't got that going on, we're always out and about. We're always doing something.
And you tell me I'm gone all the time. You guys are gone more than me and Katie.
I don't know.
It's pretty close race. We go. We got an argument about it the other day. I was mad because we just go.
But now here we are. Let's look at what we're not complaining, because we're not. You guys aren't complaining, but look what we have to talk about.
Right. Mm-hmm. Luxury problems.
Look at these luxury problems. Look at these blessings that God has provided through this.
I have a good friend that reminds me of that all the time. He's a prick too.
Yeah, he is.
You got fucking rubber hat. That sounds like a fucking luxury problem to me.
But and more things that I'm grateful for now. My kids. I hate saying it like this, but I think they were resenting me too.
I'm sure they were.
Oh yeah.
I was not a role model for them at all. I thought I was.
Well, bills are paid, Brad. Food on the table.
Right.
Yeah. That's what we thought as men.
We got a chance to go camping with you and your family. My wife. It was just me and Katie with Brad and the whole family. No, your oldest wasn't there.
No, yeah, my
oldest
wasn't there.
What was so fun is to watch them, and I'm pretty sure that the conversation even come up around the fire pit that night when your poor kids heard Larry's shit come dumping out of him.
Well, after they heard your story, they're like, "Oh, maybe Dad is not an alcoholic." I remember Larry going, "You sure you want your kids to hear this?" I'm like, "Yeah, I want my kids to fucking hear this." But the relationship today that I have with them now is just. It's night and day difference.
I remember them saying it around the campfire that dad's a different dad now. I remember them saying that.
They look up to me,
right?
And they're not mine,
right?
But they call me dad. Like I when we got together, I said, "Hey, you guys don't have to call me dad. You can call me Brad the rest of my life. That's fine. I don't care." You want to call me dad? That's on you. That's something that I need to earn.
That's right.
That's not demanded out of you. Yeah, and
Even
the way that you can just hear the way they say dad,
right.
The way the tone that comes out of them, their voice, like it's different than back in the day. It was like
there was no doubt those kids.
They're so happy. They know
you were their dad.
They know home.
No doubt.
Home is safe now.
Right.
It's a safe zone. Before it was like, what the fuck are we gonna walk into today? Or when they got back from their dads, like they didn't know what they were walking into. They didn't know we were gonna be at each other's throats. If I was gonna be drunk, they knew I was gonna be drunk because that's just I was drunk. Given. But what kind of state, what attitude, how was my day, And I'm still working on it. I still have bad days, and I try to work on it, and I'm trying to be the role model that they need to be. I'm not the best role model for my boys to show them what a lover is, because I'm still working on that to this day. But
but you show them vulnerability as a man that, hey, as a father, we don't walk on water.
Right.
And when we fall and we fail, but we pick ourselves up, and this is how a man of faith carries himself. This is how a man of faith conducts himself to the best of his ability.
I want to be like Peter.
And I don't want to be like that guy.
No,
I love that guy.
I don't know much about him, but we learned about him in service this morning.
You hear people talk about that all the time in the rooms too. Is my kids don't know me ever being drunk, and our buddy Doug says that his son never knew him drinking. I can honestly say that my grandkids will never know Papa as drinking, and I love that. My kids didn't know Dad as a drunk until they were older, right? My drinking didn't take full 100% effect until Miranda was out of the house. McKenna was still here. I mean, my kids were grown. They were
we're gonna have
full
that talk.
grown adults.
We're gonna have that.
Yeah, I don't know if they want to come and onto the podcast too and talk, and that's going to be a rough one. But so tell me, Brad, where you're at right now. You personally, where are you at right now?
As far as what?
Spiritually, emotionally, in your growth.
You said it the other day, and I'm trying to get you to say it again.
What did I say?
You talking about how happy you are right now. What's your joy? Where's your joy come from?
My joy comes from being sober and starting to mature again. And you never stop learning. You stop learning, you're screwed. We went to church this morning. We haven't been in a while. And it's not my favorite thing to do, but my wife loves it, and I want to go and support her. But when I leave there, I feel like my battery's charged and I'm ready to go again.
Holy Spirit working again. I have one question for Grace before we get going.
Go.
I love this, and I've been given the gift to do this, right? And there's been a few wives I've had just a little bit, and I got to do a little bit with Grace, fear inventory, resentment. Have you ever thought about doing more? Because have you worked through, I don't know what you've done since. Have you worked through it? Because there's a lot, there's a lot, I believe, that there still needs to come up and dig up and be free of. Have you thought about any more of that? Maybe going back to that gentleman or doing something? I mean, have you? You know what I'm talking about.
I think, so for me personally, and for anyone that's listening that is a part of this journey that has a loved one that is getting sober or down the sobriety path, I think that taking an inventory of your resentments and your fears is, you have to do that, because it's so key in putting down your own sword, right? And understanding that your fight is not against the one that you love, the one that's sober. The things that they said to you, the things that they did to you, that's what you're resenting, not the person. But it all comes together. And so to answer that, it's to me a daily thing. I think meeting with you was incredible because I didn't know how much fear and resentment was taking my joy away. And so I don't ever think I'm going to be done. I don't. And I journal all the time. But if you were to go through my journal, you'll see where I'm upset about something or I'm angry, scared. And I go back to identifying what is it? Like, what is it that I'm afraid of? What is it that I'm resenting? And just recently I was journaling and there's two things that I fear almost every single day, and that's Brad relapsing and it's death, right? Dad dying was huge for me. And I remember when he passed away, just holding that cold body and just like there would be times I would wake up to just make sure Brad was still warm. And that was before he got sober. And so I feared that. And then when he got sober, I realized how much I was scared of him relapsing.
You still?
Absolutely. I would say that this journal entry is maybe just a month and a half ago.
Oh, darn.
But that was just you and I going through it it came to me, okay, that's a fear. I got to let it go.
It's like when I went to Nashville like 2 months ago. You were like, "Are you sure you should go to Nashville?" And I'm like, "Babe, I got this. I'm going to be all right." Like
But to me if Brad relapses, to lose him again, I can't go there. And I don't need to go there, right? I don't need to, but I kept living in that fear. And so to any person that is living with someone that's sober, I would encourage them to do that step. And not one time, but to constantly live it. And do an inventory. I think that this is, I love going to AA meetings. I absolutely love it. You get to be a part of and hear these stories. And I'm someone that grew up in church. I went to church 3 to 4 times a week and my entire life until I was 18. And I remember the first AA meeting I went to and just crying and thinking,
that was a speaker meeting, if I'm correct.
I think it was a birthday night.
It was a birthday speaker meeting. Great story.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, this is church.
Oh, baby. Powerful church.
This is church. God didn't come to heal the healthy ones. He came
to us.
Yeah.
He left the 99 to get the
Absolutely.
One. The drunkard and the prostitute.
Absolutely.
Right.
Because we know our condition. Right. When we're faced with it, we know our condition. I want to open something up. Starting this Friday, our friends Mary and Matt are taking over the Friday night open meeting at Primary. So
I heard you're taking over a meeting too.
I'll be taking over the Escalon meeting in December. Brad is going to be my first speaker.
God, hold on a second. I got to go back to this. I had to shut my mic off because what you just said, my wife said the exact same thing less than 2 weeks ago.
But when do you think they'll ever get that out of their head, Larry? I don't think ever. I really don't. I
can call the woman and answer the question if you want.
No,
she's a different breed.
It's not that. It's you know what, Brad? When did we get rid of our fears? When did we get rid of our shit?
I don't think Brad's done step 4 yet.
We're working on that.
He's going to.
Fireball.
God damn it.
Who brought this girl?
Hey.
Rob just called you out. And now you're calling me out.
Well,
wow.
I'm incredibly grateful for him sitting down and...
Oh, hey, Brad, don't get me wrong. What I want to get to, I want to sit down with her and I want to crack into that family again.
Let's do it.
Your family, the family.
Let's do it.
I want to because the freedom that'll come with you from that.
But what were you saying, Larry?
The fear of dream.
So we had to do our fear inventories, right, to get rid of our resentment. Okay, I forgot, Grace, that he hasn't gone through them. It's fine.
Thank you, Grace.
You know what?
Sponsored
He's
by Fireball.
going to get. He's going to get through them in his time. Trust me.
I worked that stuff every day, all day. I mean, yeah, I haven't sat down and done it on paper and all that, but
of all of the people that we hang out with, you're the I don't worry about.
But
I always got to be the odd guy.
Yeah, but I think just knowing that
I want
things
to be
about
careful though. Hold on, I want to be very careful here because of people listening to this, right?
Don't be
people
like
listening to this. Not doing your steps
it's dangerous.
is
If you're
very, very dangerous and completely unadvisable. You know, Brad is. I know people that have been sober 30 years, and never. You guys work with one, never been to an AA meeting. They just dropped it. You know,
okay, but let's preface that. If you're an alcoholic of my time,
right,
you will have little, if any,
chance
decent sobriety if you don't
get through these steps. Yeah,
Brad. Now some of us hit different bottoms. Sometimes the bottom comes up and hit us. He will.
Right.
I promise you. And does
he will.
Does he live this? Yes. But there's going to come a time when a man's going to say, Brad, and it's coming up quick because I've kind of set it up. I've kind of orchestrated it a little bit. Anyway, will you help me? You can't take a man through what you go through. So Brad might have to stay one step ahead, but he will. But he's also living this.
Right.
So, yeah.
I like leading them to the water, and then I let Rob.
You know what?
Do the
And
rest,
I'm the same way. Yeah,
I got some good advice. I'll talk. I'll answer the phone and walk you through it. I'll
That's
answer
why I
the
want
phone
to get to
anytime.
one more thing.
Right.
What it helped Brad get sober and get through all this, we had shortly after he came in, there were two other men that was one. I'm not going to say their names, M and E.
Yeah.
Right, going through the same thing, and they wouldn't call. I was sponsoring them. We would talk, and we were doing this work, but they would lean on him.
Oh yeah.
Heavily.
Right.
Which I encouraged because he was right there, and he was just ahead of him with you, and he would tell him the things he did wrong, what he was doing right, and really instrumental in giving this away.
Well, what was funny?
That's what keeps you sober. You can go. I know people have done the steps and dry as fuck.
Right.
They don't deal. That's all they've done.
Right.
So Brad has something to give away, or God would.
But you got to also
bring people
stand.
to
I
him.
live dangerously too. You know,
Hey,
I don't
Grace,
recommend.
Thank you for pointing out because it will happen.
I don't.
It has to happen.
I don't recommend doing what I do, but I'm not going to live my life sober and boring. I'm not going to do it.
No.
One of my really good friends own a bar. I'll go to their bar. I'll take my wife and them and my buddy and his wife. I'll take them bar hopping.
Now, and there are people that can do that. There's people that would rather.
And I don't have a problem.
You come to my house. You go to the refrigerator in the garage. There's beer in there. Yeah. I got to stick my hand in that thing every day, past the alcohol, to get to my soda water or whatever I'm drinking. Like
because you talk.
I'm not going
to
live in fear of
Brad's
alcohol.
talking about 84 or 64.
And you know what? And here's the thing, Brad. Here's where we say this, and where people, you know, Rob says it, I say it, you say it, and because we stay spiritually fit,
boom,
we don't think about drinking any more than we think about breathing. And when I, you know, you were worried,
drinking wasn't our problem.
No.
Fireball.
When you say that, when you say you were worried about Brad going to Nashville, I'm in Texas, I'm in Oklahoma, I'm in LA. I'm by myself all the time. All the time I'm by myself. If I want to drink tomorrow, I'm going to be by myself tomorrow night. I'm going to be by myself Tuesday night. I could do it.
What'd you do? You piss her off?
No, I got to travel for work. I'm gone all the time. So for me, if I was going to drink, I would have no problem doing it. Yeah. I could be drunk for 3 days and nobody would know it except for me.
I guess.
And I have to be spiritually fit. I answer to myself and God above. That's all I answer to. And if I can't answer to thy own self be true, if I can't do that, I'm going to live a miserable. My next tattoo, and I'm leaving Tuesday. I'm going to go down and get the rest of the back of my arm done. It's Jolie Mullen down in Bakersfield.
Does it look like that?
Good God, he's going to do it, and I've always wanted this, but where it talks about it in the book, and I meant to have this up, but it's
a whale and a dolphin getting it on.
You're an idiot. It's where serenity meets calamity. And
God enables us to match calamity with serenity.
Yeah. And it's where the two rivers collide, right? And there's a great story about it. There's all kinds of stuff about it. But it's always, when I read that in rehab, when I read that section where Rob just said it, I never did understand it until about 9 months, 10 months, as I was saying, about the same time Brad and I hit that 9-month window. I finally figured out where that calamity, where you can have your serenity, and live in a world of calamity and their peace. And that's where we're at. And I don't want to live any other way. I don't.
We can't.
I won't.
We can't afford to live in fear. They
won't.
crop up. When they crop up, we ask God to remove them. That's why it's legitimate. I mean, for people of faith, because I remember, if you remember this conversation, you were pulling up to the house. You were still living elsewhere. You were just getting ready to move in. You were pulling up to the house. We were having meetings at his house, and we had not met. I knew you. We should, but you knew who I was, and I knew who you were. And you said the same thing to me. Why you haven't come back home? I'm afraid. I'm afraid for the other shoe to drop. I'm afraid. I said, well, are you a woman of fear or are you a woman of faith? Or no, I didn't. I said, are we supposed to walk by fear or do we walk by faith, not by sight? I was quoting the Bible because she knows, Brad always said how she knew the scripture, and she picked up on it right away and stopped, and said, you're right, but she's still afraid.
Right.
But we can't stay there. And we can't stay there.
No.
But I'm just going to say this, Larry. The two, or all three of you guys are in control of your sobriety, right? Katie and I have no control over it. Every day we're just living at the mercy of you being in control
100%.
Of your sobriety.
100%.
And
Larry knows all about that because he has to be in control of fucking everything.
Jesus Christ.
So he knows exactly what you're saying.
And that's hard, to live every day and not be in control of your future.
Well, and I think what's hard for us to understand.
What do we control? I mean, as far
we
as
don't.
The only thing I can control at any given moment in my life
Right.
is my attitude, my effort.
Right.
I can't control my kids, my wife,
Right.
my sobriety, God, the wind blowing. I can't. My attitude, my effort. It's all I really control. It's an illusion. But now, if you see him not doing, like, there are times, Barney, hey, honey, like if I get busy doing, think you need to go to a meeting. When she says that, of course, I'm like, oh, what are you seeing? She goes, you're getting snappy. I'm hearing maybe, this word and this word coming out of your mouth a little more. Okay, that doesn't mean I'm getting ready to drink because I'm not. Right. I mean, again, drinking wasn't my problem. Drinking wasn't his problem. Right. Our liquor was but a symptom. Right. We had to get down to causes and conditions. He did that. When he came to the rooms and he continues to do this, or come with us, he's getting down to causes and conditions. That drink's getting further and further. It's not even, it's a minute. Right. Now, if you start seeing him not do that, going away, not going to church, those things, that drink's getting closer. That's when you need to, but now, he's as far from a drink as a baby. Right. It just is. Yeah. I mean,
for sure.
That's what I'm just sharing that. It's hard to get there. And again, as the months turn into years, days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, and months turn into years, you'll start. But it'll get easier. Trust me, it will.
But let me ask you this, Grace: has he ever quit drinking and been this man? Has he ever quit drinking and become this man? I think
last time I quit drinking, I was like hella quiet and shit, and then she was like,
"Well,
you don't even talk. You don't do." I was just sitting on the couch, I'm just trying to power through this.
No, but the difference is, I've fallen in love with this man.
Right.
So now I've fallen in love with him too. Exactly.
I know what you're afraid of. You're not afraid of him drinking. You're afraid if he drinks, what you're going to lose.
Yeah, because I love him. I love the shit out of him.
Right.
I love him more today than I've ever loved him, and so I live in the fear of losing.
Yeah, but
hey, we got work to do.
Yeah. I think this is where I don't understand, and here's for me, and I'm speaking only about me right now. And Jesus, you guys have no idea how editing this thing's going to do, but right now I don't give a fuck because this is too good. We're working on my marriage right now. I'll tell you the truth, and not that it's bad. It's just I'm trying to help Katie understand. I'm trying to help her to not live in that fear, right? And the only thing I could say, we had to turn it over.
I'm gonna stop you real quick.
We had to turn it over.
The only thing that me and you could do to help them ain't shit anymore. We lost that. We lost that.
But what I'm saying, Brad, is all I could tell her is that if she did what I did and went through what I went through and gave that over. And
you're talking about this.
Yeah.
But it's not even this, Rob. It's, yes, going through my steps, we did what we do, right? We're fears, resentments, everything we do when we do in steps 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, and 9, we do that. But every day when I wake up, I have to open up my hands and say, take what you want and give me what you will. Right? Every day I do that because I cannot, if I try to handle anything, I will fuck it up. I will stress about it. I'll get anxiety about it. And I'll
get a phone call about it.
And I'll get not only you, Jason, Brad, Doug, everybody gets phone calls.
That's the tools. That's our tools.
Right. And that's what we do. And it's typically not Larry asking opinions. It's typically Larry fucking screaming about it.
Because you already know the answer.
Right. It's me convincing myself that what I have to do and what I have to do. But going back to my point is I want to help Katie with that.
Because we're fixers. But what you got to do is let her come to it and let Grace come to it at their own pace.
So, Larry, have you seen that video with the
nail in the head?
Yeah, I think I sent that to you guys.
Yeah, but so, and I don't know.
Right.
I haven't talked to Katie about this, but when Katie comes to you with this, don't try to take the nail out of her head.
Right.
Let it be there.
Right.
She's on her own healing journey.
For sure. Yeah.
And when you try to fix, or when Brad tries to tell me I need to think a certain way, I even get more like, who are you?
Right.
You took me to the pit of hell.
Right. Yep.
I'm on my own journey back.
Right.
You're not. So I would just say, let her, when she's talking to you, she's not asking you to fix it. She just wants reassurance.
Right.
And Brad has a good point, and he shares it with us.
I don't do it as often as I should.
But
I'm practicing.
When he said when Grace would come to him, and I've worked with, and because me and Bonnie are different, she's a different animal, as Brad would say. But he does make a great point. When you come with him to something, he says, "Hey, do you want me to fix it or listen?"
Right.
Kind of deal.
That's
great advice because most they just want to listen
right.
and just shut up. And I've gotten real bad. Well, I'm getting better. I brought this up the other day because you and I finish each other's sentences. Right. We're about to say we do that, and I do that to my wife. Okay, I'm done talking. That's what she'll say. And this is 14 years later. Is one of my character defects that I steal. And I know what you're going to say, but let them fucking talk. Let them have their journey at their pace. They didn't have to move at our pace. They weren't killing their fucking selves.
Right.
We were, and just be there.
And I think
years later, my wife is, and she'll say, "Hey, honey, thank you." What did you just say to me?
Right.
Did you say that word? Thank you for letting me come to it on my own and in my own time. What a gift. Get out of the fucking way and let him, just be the best husband, father you can be in the moment.
Yeah, that's what I'm grateful for today. I feel that I'm a better father, a better husband, a better friend, a better coworker, a better brother, just a better person all around. And even if you didn't want to quit drinking and you wanted to practice this, it'd make you a better person. It'd make everybody a better person.
Everybody after the Mary and Matt. I mean, if you want to stay bound, whatever. But if you have guts, whoever you are, find someone to take you through this.
Well, and what you say, this wouldn't hurt my grandmother.
It wouldn't hurt my grandmother, and it wouldn't. And my sister's gonna tell you, "Well, our grandmother's dead, Rob." I know that.
It don't matter if you're a devil worshiper and you wanted to do it.
Live, just it's the freedom that can come from this.
How free do you want to be?
How free,
right?
That's
How
Rob
free do you want to be? How free do you want to be? Right. Hey, I'm gonna wrap this up.
I wasn't done.
Well, fucking wrap it up. We've been talking for 3 hours, fucker.
I got one more thing to say. Sponsored by Fireball. Go ahead, Brad.
Oh, I just want to, talk to the listeners a little bit about.
Good.
If you're trying to get sober, you're thinking about get sober. Don't be about it. Don't think about it. Be about it. Get out there and get it done. Try it out. See what happens.
Action.
Talk to people. Get it. You have to talk. You got to get it out. You holding it in, then there's a problem. My jar, and I didn't bring this up when we were talking. My jar was so full of fucking shit that I just kept stuffing and stuffing and stuffing, and I couldn't get the lid on it anymore. And then that's what really just. And then once that jar got emptied and I went through all that shit, fucking life is so much better not knowing that that's right there on your side and you're carrying it everywhere you go. And then you have an issue, try to get through it. It might not be that day, that moment, but the faster you get through it, the better you're going to be. You're not going to carry it. I didn't want to get sober. I did not want to get sober.
No drunk wants to get sober.
I remember my first drunk and I remember my last drunk, and neither one of them were any fun, But now that I'm sober, I wouldn't have it any other way. I love being sober. I love talking to people about being sober, or I don't go looking for people.
But they find you.
When I got sober in the beginning, I'm like, oh, Rob, I want to help people. I want to get people sober. He's all, they'll come to you. Don't worry about it. And they did, and they do, and I just love now. I wouldn't say my specialty. I really am good at helping people that are going through the same shit that me and you went through, Larry. I like it. Helping other people through their sobriety, that's how I stay sober. Yeah. It's what keeps me sober, what keeps me going. And then it makes me make sure that I'm walking that shit that I'm saying, I can't be telling somebody some stuff and I'm not doing it. I'm so grateful to be sober. I got sober when I was 36. I think I had a good run at it. It wasn't that great. But why do you need it? What's it do for you? Right. It's just poison. It ain't. I mean, yeah, I had some good times when I drank, some parties and stuff. I had some good times, but other than that, it ain't. No. It's fucking poison.
On. But you sent us one in the group, and I wish I could remember it. It said something to the effect that I choose to not drink because I why do you drink? Because I choose to not drink. Or they ask you the quote. Why don't you drink?
Oh yeah, well, someone finds out you don't drink. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. They're like, oh, well, why don't you drink? Well, if you don't do meth, no one asks you why you don't do meth. Like everybody says, oh, you got a problem. Yeah, I got a problem. But for me, I'm open. I'll fucking tell you. I'll tell my story. I don't have a problem with that. But is that what you're talking about? Like,
well, it's kind of like I like being clear headed and all these things, and having fun. Why do you drink?
Right.
To have all these things, you're enjoying all these things. You say, I enjoy them sober.
Yeah, I people ask me, why did you get why all that on your arm? Why did you get your sobriety and your the A triangle? Why all that? Because I've been asked about my tattoos, and I can't. That's the other reason why I wanted to get it finished, because that's the only thing I've been asked. Because I walk through airports and I get all the time, and I've been asked several times. One asked me if this was a satanic thing, and I had to explain to him, no.
You should have said yeah.
No, and I've had people that recognize it come up and say congratulations, or they say Bill, you're a friend of Bill's, or anything like that. But what's the best one is the ones that come up and ask me, what is that? And I have an opportunity to explain to them what it is and have a chance to tell my story, because everything on this arm from the very beginning has been my story of sobriety.
You tell me I'm allergic to alcohol. I break out in handcuffs.
Well, you're lucky, because when I got that big old skull tattooed on my neck, people were wanting to know if I was going through a midlife crisis.
No, I had 52, 53 years old as I got that first tattoo, because that was I got this one on my first birthday, and then these were done on my second one, and then.
So I'm going to finish a little bit real quick.
Okay,
so,
hit me.
Like I was saying to the listeners, I mean, if you want to get sober, get sober. I waited till my wife left, and I think that's the hardest way. Some days I wish I would have just got a DUI.
Right.
Than the pain and the crying and the emotion that I went through. But I'm not saying it would be easier. I mean, Larry knows a little bit more about it because his family was still around, but it might have been harder. But to me, sometimes I felt like I needed my wife to be my cheerleader, and I didn't have that. The only person I had was me, and then the guys I found that surrounded me to be my cheerleader through that, to tell me I could do this, and then just to see them, how happy they were and how good life was. I mean, they're still going through problems. Fucking Rob went through cancer, sober, but went through cancer. But he knew how to deal with it,
Tools.
Yeah, he knew how to deal with it without drinking. I know there's a lot of people out there suffering, a lot of people, and it's crazy. When I took alcohol out of my life, they say it only takes 4 days to get sober, but a couple months into all those problems I had, they just kind of slowly dissolved away. Like half of that shit I was just carrying with me for no reason. Like you see people talking about this and that. It's like, just quit drinking and watch it go away.
Right.
It'll fucking go away. And then you can start working on you, who you want to be.
Yeah. You have a choice.
I have a lot to work to do. I didn't know how much work I had to do, too. I thought I was the best husband, All the women wanted me. Like, if you don't want me, there's like 3 of them over there eyeball me. They'll take your spot. No one wants me. I'm grateful she wants me still,
Right.
She's beautiful. I'm lucky.
Right. Blessed.
I won the lotto right there, So me and Grace, we kind of made up an email. I don't know if anybody reach out. We would love to
that's a great idea.
I love it.
Talk to people, I think we really could help with marriage, I mean, there's women out there suffering in silence. You know how many men like this are out there just treating women like shit, thinking they're the shit. They provide, they put the roof.
Right.
We want to just put it out there. If people want to reach out, my wife you could either leave a phone number or email. She can email back. I can email back. We would love to give our gift back to somebody. Yes. So you're gonna love this, Rob. The email is 2 shots and a beer.
Is it and or is it the letter N?
No, I don't make it complicated.
Give it to him, Brad.
And it's 2 spelled TWO shots and a beer at yahoo.com. Feel free. It ain't gonna hurt if you got a question or you want to throw something out. It ain't gonna hurt.
Right.
It's not gonna hurt. Yeah. Or you want to reach out to me, I can help you. Hopefully get sober before your wife does tell you to fucking kick rocks.
Because some of them don't come back.
My wife left. She could. I played hardball and said, I ain't leaving. You fucking leave.
Right.
Sometimes I wish I would have just left and maybe I could have weaseled my way back in a little sooner. But it all happened the way it happened for a reason, and it worked out perfect. So reach out. If it ain't out to me.
Say that again. Say that one again.
Yeah.
2 shots and a beer. TWO. At yahoo.com.
Yahoo.com.
But reach out to us. Right. Reach out to somebody. You got to reach out. If you ain't reaching out, you ain't doing shit. Because your program is not working.
Nope.
And that's the program you're running for yourself.
And we have to stay within. We have to stay in this book. We have to stay within our fellowship.
Can I tell you what Brad just did, Grace? So this is the fears. What keeps Brad sober? All sober. Chapter 7, working with others. Practical experience shows that nothing will so much ensure immunity from drinking as intensive work with other alcoholics. Right. It works when other activities fail. This is our 12th suggestion. Carry this message, which is what he's just doing.
Right.
Carry the message. You keep doing that, you're good.
Right.
You stop doing that, it's a matter of time.
You're in trouble.
But I also think that Grace could
she could
help women before they just throw the towel in and say, fuck it.
Yeah. No.
I mean, even if they're in the situation where they're out on their own, but they're done, but they're not done.
Right.
She was done, but she wasn't 100%. Like,
well, I still love the shit out of you.
Yeah, she was hoping that I was going to find myself,
and luckily gave you the space and time to do that, without filing the divorce papers.
I'll tell you right now, that was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
What?
Was win her back, get sober, and win her back all at the same time.
Would you want to start over and do it again?
I'd live my life every moment over to this day and
to be right where you're at. Huh?
Yes.
People think we're fucking nuts when I say that, but I'm going to tell you right now.
She's starting to finally understand when I say that.
Right.
She is recently, like, I understand what you're saying. But before, she's like,
nah,
you're fucking crazy.
Yeah, no,
Katie. I wouldn't do it again. I wouldn't have. There was times I could have got off the ride, and I knew I should have. The doctors tell me I'm sitting, my wife's crying, and I didn't. I chose to keep, and I got to own my shit. I can't say, well, God needed me to keep hurting her and keep lying and do it.
I don't.
Another 3 months. No, I didn't. I chose to keep doing it.
I get what you're saying.
I could have got off the ride anytime. I chose not to. But I know what you guys are saying too.
I think I'm saying more of my childhood, just having that time with my dad and those.
I just don't think I would appreciate what I got if I hadn't have went through the shit.
The pain.
The pain, and you guys have seen me talk about that deep fucking pain that I was in emotionally, and to explain that to people hurts every time I say it, because it almost makes me want to drag back down in there, and that's where Katie gets you know, she hates it when I talk about it because she knows how deep I was, or she didn't realize how deep in depression I was. And then she feels guilty about it that she didn't see it sooner and try to do something. And, you know, she feels that. And, you know, when I go back and I want to be able to shoulder that pain, I want to take that pain away from her, and I can't. So when I tell her, you know, when I'm trying to give her advice, that's what I'm doing, is trying to shoulder that pain. Just, you know, put the yoke on me for a little while. Let me take it. I can
but it's
handle.
It's not yours to walk.
It is, and you're right. I know that. I know, but man, I want to take that pain away, and I want to. You know, I want her. You know, I want her to walk up out of that storm. That storm shelter. I want her to come up. I want her to see life is good, man. Life is fucking good.
It'll take time. She will.
She's still a female.
God damn it, Brad. You motherfucker.
Another thing I want to touch too, we didn't really touch about, is Grace. She still drinks to this day. She's not sober. She still drinks.
Fireball.
I
What is your drink of choice today?
I don't. Jack Daniels, always.
Yes.
Always.
So she still drinks.
Yeah.
So when I first got sober, I was like, oh, fuck that. You're going to, you know, I wanted her to do it with me. If you love me, you'll do it with me.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Yeah. But don't be that. Don't be that person, you know. Your problem is you.
Right.
Her drinking ain't my problem.
No.
I mean, if she got bad, you know, I'm here for her and we can figure it out. But you know, I think a lot of people like, oh, we're gonna do it together.
Right.
Like, she had it figured out. I didn't.
Yeah, Katie still drinks. You know, I think that was the hardest thing for me.
I tried to get Bondi to drink so I could take advantage, but she
didn't drink when you were drinking.
No, she doesn't not drink her.
Katie stopped drinking altogether towards the end because she was too paranoid of what the hell, you know, where I was going to end up. So she just quit drinking altogether. And now she'll drink, you know, if we go out in that, and there's still wine. I mean, there's full bottles of wine around here and other stuff. And I, just like you, Brad, I could give two shits about it. I don't.
You haven't had to replace any bottles of wine lately?
No. Damn it, Brad. But it's, you know,
great story.
It is a fucking, that story makes me laugh every time I tell it.
The craziness.
It's a shit we do.
The insanity we do.
Oh, dude. But
we think it's normal.
Yeah.
It was normal then.
Yeah. Hey, Grace, Brad, you guys have been awesome. I don't even know where I'm going to begin with editing this. I don't. I got 2 days to get this one done. I can't be any more. You guys did more for me today than I think you guys can even fathom. Thank you very much.
And we found out why you have the tissues on the table.
You know, this is literally the first time I've ever had to use them, fucker.
No, it's the first time you've used them. You had to use them almost every fucking time. You use your sleeve.
Yeah, you guys have had some powerful stories on here, man. Some of these stories you listen to.
This was great.
I try to go back on the stories I've listened to, the people you've had, and I try to like play myself through that and how I would stay sober to that, and I can't wrap my mind around. Like, I can't do the math on that. I can't figure it out. Those people, Matt, Mary, Jason, like.
Well, hey, Brad, don't cut yourself short.
No,
you know what?
My story
hold on. Everybody's loss, right, is gauged by their mental state of mind at the point, right?
Well, I try to turn it and go, like, if I had quit drinking when Dad was still alive, like, would I have made it through that? Like, I'm like, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know if I would have made it through that. Depending on how much sobriety, I think the more sobriety I had would have helped me. But, I mean, you got people on here that were going through some rough shit with a little bit of sobriety. And it's like...
And who they choose to surround themselves with. That's, you know, how many times have we said it growing up, whoever we were told, you are who you surround yourself with. And who do we surround? I surround myself with hoodlums and Jason. You know, that's who I surrounded myself with. We had lots of fun, right? But it's true.
Right.
You have that. Look how many people you've touched. Look at...
Oh, yeah.
I'm just calling. Look at Eric. Look at Matt.
Right.
Matt. You've helped more than I have. I've done the steps. But when they were really in need, when they really wanted answers, they didn't come to me. They came to you because you had lived that particular problem.
I can honestly tell you, I've called and talked to you about shit that I've never called and talked to my sponsor about.
Yeah.
I have.
Thank you, Payne Weber. Thank you, Brad.
It only happens once in a while. You don't want to hear the truth.
Yeah, because I almost went a couple of times. Guess what? I almost went and did.
Hey,
I would bust some Fireball.
Fireball. We might get a promotion.
You guys are gonna get us a fucking
Sponsored by.
Hey, we gotta
He's
get
gonna
out
cut
of
all
here,
that shit out.
No, yeah, probably all that.
Hey, cut out the tuna can thing.
No, that's fucking staying. That's actually going to be a snippet in everything we do from now on.
Snippet.
All right, we're out of here. Hey,
All right, thank you for having us.
thank you,
Thank
Brad.
you.
Thank you. Hey, if you ever want to get in touch with us, it's going to say it again in our outro here in just a minute. But you got Brad. Say it again, Brad. Say your email again.
2 shots and a beer at Yahoo. Letter 2 is spelt out.
Attaboy. You can reach Rob and I at recoveryunfilteredrobnlarry at gmail.com. That's recoveryunfiltered Rob
The letter N.
Larry at gmail.com. And thank you for joining us. Don't be afraid. Share us, like us, tell your friends. You know, don't keep this thing going. God is with us, and we appreciate it. Thank you for joining us today.
We hope you learned something today that will help you.
If you did not, come back next week and we'll try again.
If you like what we heard, give us a 5-star review. If you don't like what you heard, kiss my... You can't say that, can you? Anyway, if you don't like what you heard, go ahead and tell us that too. We'll see what we can improve. We probably won't change nothing, but do it anyway.
Hey, thanks, Rob. Come back next week and hopefully something will be different and something will sink in. Take care.
This has been Recovery Unfiltered.